I got to tell everybody, man, this is going to be one crazy, great show today. Welcome to it, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome into Gwynn and Chris. Day off for the Padres, which gives us 4 full hours with you here on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. The gang's all here today. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., and Matt Skraby. All three of us live in the Bill House studios. We know how, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of stories today that are just like one after another. I was, like, oh, wow, look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this one.
Yeah, this never happens on a Monday.
Very rarely, right, Tony? But it was just crazy stuff, and we'll get into all of that later, and I'll give you a little preview. But obviously we start with something, I guess, a little crazy that happened this weekend, because I doubt very many of you, even though I'm sure you hoped it would happen, probably wouldn't have bet the mortgage on it. But the Padres go in there and extend the woes of the Miami Marlins. 3-game sweep. And you have to love how they finished it off. I mean, coming from behind in the the 8th inning, and Manny homers and Merrill, and you close it down. The pitching was really good. The Padres have discovered the word quilt, which I've never heard used in connection to baseball. That's what they're calling the.
Enlighten me, please.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you guys didn't see it? It was in the headline the other day. I guess the quilt is the piecing to. Hello? Somebody calling you? We have a phone call coming into the studio.
My daughter
from the
is
heaven
calling
above.
me,
Uh-oh, well, we better get your daughter taken
Yeah, you
care
want to
of.
answer it on the air?
No, I don't think so.
On the air.
I don't think
Do you need to take it, Tony?
No, I'll talk to her after.
Okay.
No, the quilt is what is being referred to as the way the Padres are stitching together their starting pitching.
I see.
It's a quilt.
I thought it was like some anagram. Is that what it is? Anagram?
Yeah, right. It's not that. I guess according to what I've been reading, the Tigers did something similar to this a couple of years ago that I didn't.
2024, yes.
Yeah, I didn't see them
It's
do
called,
this. But
bullpen chaos or chaos.
they called it chaos,
Yeah.
right? The Padres are quilting it together, and I don't know that they really told German Marquez about it Friday. Judging by the look on his face when Craig Stammen came out in the 3rd inning with nobody on base and just said, "Yeah, you're good."
That was interesting.
It was a little interesting, right? Marquez kind of went off like, but by the next day, when we saw it, again, we're like, okay, there's a method to this madness, and so far so good. So we'll see if they can keep it up. But Tony, I think the key thing here is what they won all 3 games. I want to, temper the excitement a little bit. The playoff odds, according to fan graphs, is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Fangraphs.
According to Fangraphs, before the weekend, the Padres are 7.5% to make the playoffs. Now they're 14%.
Doubled
So they doubled, but they're still not a heavy favorite to do it. But I say that what potentially is false hope is a whole lot better than no hope. And that's where we were headed on Friday. So
Yeah, no, I don't even know that you pay any attention to percentages at this point. Padres got some work to do. They've certainly engaged us all again over the weekend with the 3-game sweep, the way they won it, the guys that participated in the winning. I mean, on this trip, you had Toddy homer in back-to-back games, which wasn't something he had done often, if at all, this season. You had the first time all 3 of them homered in the same game.
yeah, Toddy, Merrill, and Manny.
That hadn't happened all year.
Correct.
And then you had what I don't think they've had all season either, which is a signature kind of win with some of the big dogs participating in that as well, right? I think the homer from Manny to tie it, then the go-ahead homer from Jackson, and meanwhile, Ty France has just been steady Eddie all season long, and so
he's still the team MVP, if I'm not mistaken. I mean,
yes.
Manny's closing the gap, but Ty France, man, incredible.
Now, with that all being said, as Chris just kind of this week, feels.
Yes, right. Everybody's excited now because here come the Rockies and the Giants, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's 5 wins."
No, it's not.
And I'm like, "Don't think that way."
Cole Carrick right now is balling. Aztec for life for the Rockies.
Cole Carrick
he is playing his behind off.
He got the only hit yesterday they got out of Mizorowski.
You got Casey Schmidt, Oppo Taco too.
Yes, he did.
You got Casey Schmidt playing extremely well for the Giants. They're in a little bit of flux, so I don't think none of these are just, you can book them as wins. You need to go out and win these 6, right? You got the 2 against the Rockies. You got 4 against the Giants. And then you hop on a plane and you go to Arizona where you get the head-to-head matchup, another 4-game sets. You got back-to-back 4-game sets. Boy, this week is big because when the next week rolls around, the deadline will be upon us.
You brought something up interesting because we were talking about this. Yes, you're right, Tony. With the deadline coming up next week, and Jay Cronenworth said it straight up. He said what everybody else was thinking after the game yesterday. He said, "Look, we won this series, and I'm glad we did because this sends the message to AJ that we got fighting us. We got to fight, and we want to we want to improve this team and go after it." So I think, they knew what was at stake this weekend. I wasn't totally shocked. I told Skraby this on Thursday or Friday when they lost another disheartening game in there somewhere, I think in Atlanta. I said, you still look at the team. They might have a broken leg here and there. The elbow might be tweaked. I said, but they still are showing heart. They still fight. They got 6 runs in the 9th inning of the one game, right? They came back in the other game and almost won. So the heart is there. Everything else has been broke, but they keep fighting, and I think that was pretty clear this weekend.
Where the Padres have felt unlucky, in a lot of ways the last couple of years. Where they have had a horseshoe up, you know what I'm saying?
Lucky Padres, yes. What is it?
When they are behind, teams lose that they need to lose when they're trying to chase. Or when they're trying to keep a lead, right? Padres went 5-5 on that trip and gained 2 games in the wild card.
How about that? They're 2 games out now.
So they've been very fortunate that in the days that they lost on that road trip.
You're saying they could have been buried there.
They could have been in a much worse spot. Even as they got to Miami on Friday, they were still after 2-4 to start.
2-5.
2-5.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They were still only 4 out. They left 3 out. Yeah. So they lost a game and going 2-5.
And then picked up 2 this weekend.
Yeah,
they're 2 games back. That's it. Now there are a bunch of teams ahead of them, but they're certainly at 500 and certainly still relevant. And I got to be honest, relevance was starting to leave the room there at the end of last week, but no more. Got a homestand coming up that's really important. You have to take your hat off. Look, can we just give Steven Souza one compliment this year? Right? And I've been right there too. We've all criticized this guy, the worst hitting coach, the worst hire ever. All, should have got rid of him. So, I'm not blaming other people for saying it because I've said it the same thing. But the last, month and a half, something like that, I've offense in all of baseball. And you talk about, guys making adjustments. Jackson Merrill, 5 home runs since the All-Star break and an 1110 OPS. Manny, 950 OPS. Fernando, 971. All of a sudden, these numbers are like big. And AJ Preller does have the magic touch. Who the hell else would sign Luis Rengifo to come in and go 1230 on the OPS since the All-Star break?
Some big hits, too.
Yeah. I mean, and Ty France I didn't even mention Ty. So, Look, the offense is really starting to crank up. So let's give Steven Souza some credit because they had to sit there and listen to how bad they were for 3 months, and they were bad, so they couldn't even argue back on it.
Listen,
but let's give a little credit when it's due.
The whole time, he's been back there grinding and trying to figure it out, trying to make adjustments. And so all of a sudden, and listen, I think he said this at the very, very beginning of the year. Hitting coaches in general are only as good as their players are performing. And so now they're starting to perform, and there's some compliments coming Stevens' way. Either way,
I don't know how many are coming. I thought I'd throw him one, though, because he hasn't seen too many.
Either way, there's no doubt. The offense has looked better.
It's good.
Really since going into the break.
Yeah.
And it has continued at a winning level since at least these last 3 days.
It's a good offense right now.
For sure.
There's absolutely no question. I mean, and you can't have – I know you can – if you want to be a complainer, which I, am born to be, you could say, well, when are we going to get Xander going? Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Listen, man.
But look, my point is it's pretty hard to have all 9 guys at one time. But look, the offense is a lot better. What they're doing with the pitching, I don't know if it can still work or how long it can work. But I know 2 things. One, and we've said this about Craig Stammen all year, Tony. I know I have. You got it. If you don't like what he does, if you're not a fan, I can't change your mind. But one thing that I think you should appreciate is the fact that he doesn't keep doing the same thing over and over and over.
Anything like that. He just keeps
trying things.
Yeah.
And, some of them have been kind of like, what the hell was that? But this quilt thing, or the chaos, whatever you want to call it, kind of, invigorated a little life into the pitching staff this weekend. So give him or whoever came up with it the credit for saying, let's do this now.
I would assume that you at least needed to work for another week.
That's all you need, because then next weekend we can get Scooble and whoever else we're going to get. I know. We bring Scooble, Peralta.
I would like to.
But the point is, I think you can try to get away with it for another week.
Hopefully, and then you get reinforcements.
And then you can maybe get some reinforcements.
Can we pump the brakes a little bit, though? I know a sweep is nice.
I'm not pumping.
They still got to win this week.
We literally just said this week is.
And did I not begin by saying the odds are now 14%? We're not making plans.
Better than 7.5%.
And that's what I said.
Which one do you want to do? You want to pump the brakes or you want to pump it up?
I want to pump the brakes.
You just went.
I'm pretty sure we did a little of both there.
I'm just a little nervous to trust in this team after what I've seen this year.
Listen, nobody said you need to trust anything.
Okay.
And we also said to everyone out there,
I think it goes trust and verifies is what you got to do.
We told everybody out there, if you're counting 5 wins over the Rockies and Giants, stop it. That's just the way you have to do this. Or 6 wins. Are the Giants a 4-game series?
No, it's a 3. No, the Rockies are 2.
It's a 4.
No, the Giants are 4. Yeah,
Giants
so
are
6
4.
games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rockies are Tuesday, Wednesday, Giants Thursday through Sunday.
What day is it?
It's Monday. Don't do that.
All right, so we're underway. As I mentioned right at the beginning, though, some crazy stuff today. I'm going to give you the craziest headline. This might be a little much for all of these stories, but is journalism as we know it over? This Kyle Shanahan story, you probably heard about it over the weekend. How it's been handled has a lot of people questioning it.
Has Skraby quite tight.
Yes, I know. He's taking it personally.
Everybody's saying that he was at fault for it.
It's like Kyle is his pops.
The poor guy.
It's like he's related.
The poor guy has 40 stitches in his face, a broken nose, blackened eyes, multiple fractured ribs, and a broken hand. And everybody's like, well, he shouldn't have been driving.
Is everybody saying that? Really? Is everyone saying it?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that are like, well, couldn't have happened to a nicer person.
Well, that's people who just don't like him. But we're not going to even be talking about the accident as much as we're talking about how the accident was covered.
Yeah.
Also,
respectfully, that's how it
did
was.
Pat McAfee get inside information to make a boatload of money on the LeBron James signing? And if he did, is that cool? We were going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the journalism thing. Those are big deals later on, but we have some other cool stuff that's happened today. Weekend was full of stuff. LeBron is a Sixer. I can't wait for Tony. Tony, does that mean now you can kind of not be as much of a LeBron fan, or I'm curious?
Oh, yeah.
No,
he's not a Laker anymore.
I respect good players.
All right. Well,
I'm not going to be cheering for him like I used to be, but
Oh, he's going to be he's flopping. He's flopping.
That's right. I'm going to send Tony my Twitter feed of LeBron now. All right. We're underway.
Your Twitter feed's interesting.
Stick around. Drew Goodman's going to be here with the Rockies in town. He's always a great guest on the show.
Abrams, I thought that was today. Never mind.
No. C.J. Abrams hit a home run, and we're like, just
every
another day.
Every day this guy has to do that. We'll talk about that because they're, the baseball is exciting now, but, next year is kind of lurking. So all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. Thanks for being with us. Right now, we got Jake Cronenworth, and we're excited to have him on our Friday interview. Jake, thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure. How are you?
Hey, guys. Appreciate you having me on. I'm doing great.
Well, we love having Jake all the time. I'll get right to it, Jake. It's been a crazy year for you. Take us back to obviously Anaheim and the hit by pitch and how that thing developed, because you were able to play for a week or so after, and then everything kind of went crazy there. We all felt for you, but we didn't really know a lot about what was going on.
Yeah, I think, over the course of the next weeks, I think it was 2.5 weeks before I finally said something. I don't think, I've said it in past interviews and stuff, and I don't think going to Colorado and Mexico City right after that helped at all. I think a lot of the things I was feeling, I kind of just thought it was altitude and some of the headaches I was having and bad sleep and stuff. And, but obviously once we got home from that trip, I started noticing little things each day, and obviously said something after that.
Now, did your symptoms as you went into, man, I didn't even think about that. You went to Colorado, we go to Mexico City. Did your symptoms start happening worse once you returned to altitude and we got home? Is that when each day it just there was something new that was popping?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I've gone back and thought about some of those days I've had, and one of the things I was looked back on was that first off day we had in Colorado a couple days after, and I remember walking to get a coffee, and I couldn't even walk outside with my sunglasses on. And some of the stuff I was doing on that Friday in Colorado before the game, it just didn't feel right. And again, knowing now, I wish I would have said something then. But yeah, I mean, once we got home from that road trip, obviously some things started popping up that were I was questioning why it was happening and what was going on, and talked to some people that I know that had gone through it, and they helped a lot with, kind of perspective on it and the decision I finally made to say something about it.
Jake Cronenworth is with us, and Jake, I mean, you're such a beloved player, in this organization, both fans and media. So I think for a lot of us, man, when you went down, it was hard because we didn't hear a lot. You were kind of not really around with the team, and I started going, "Where's Jake? How's Jake?" We weren't getting a lot of reports. How difficult was that time for you? I know this is a silly question. It was very difficult. But take us through the month and a half where I know you so desperately wanted to play, but the symptoms wouldn't go away.
Yeah, I think that was the hardest thing about it is, as Tony knows, like, we're in such a routine. We're around the guys every day, and, you're having fun in the clubhouse, in the dugout, and obviously playing every day with these guys. And, to have that taken away and to not even be really able to be around them, especially with some of the symptoms I was having, that's the hardest piece. And watching the games on TV, and, as frustrating as it was, a lot of the people and the doctors and some guys I know that have gone through it in the past, like, the one thing that they told me was like, just take care of yourself and come back when the time is right, when you feel right. Some of these guys that I talked to tried to come back too early, and it prolonged the process. So I think, as much as it did stink that I wasn't able to be here every day and be around the team, even, in the past, like last year when I had a broken rib, I'm able to be in the dugout and travel with the guys and be around them. I think it was the right decision in the end of it, now that, you look back on it.
Jake Cronenworth joins us here talking a little bit about the injury he had earlier in the season. So, Jake, at what point did you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel? Because that was a long process before you got to the point where you could even think about baseball. At what point did you start to, get encouraged that, okay, this is moving in the direction where I'm going to be back on the field soon?
Yeah, I think it was around those days. I think I had, 2 or 3 days when I was in the dugout before I headed to Arizona to get some at-bats and get a bunch of work when the team went on the road. I mean, up until then, there wasn't really, a day where I kind of woke up and was like, oh, man, it's gone. I feel great. It was like this kind of roller coaster up and down, slow progress that I was feeling. And again, I'd have some days where, I'd see that progress and then I'd do some things and I'd be like, that is not right. That should not happen. And inevitably, I think the thing that took the longest was my eyes to get right.
Jay Cronenworth is with us. All right, let's move past all that because we are, and you are past all that. And
Chris Ello, Matthew Skraby. What's your middle name, Matt?
We've done
Ryan.
this so
Is it
many
Ryan?
times.
No, it's not Ryan.
No.
What is it?
Ryan. It's Thomas.
Thomas.
I'll tell you mine.
Matthew Thomas.
I already know
Skraby.
yours. Yours is and I've made fun of it, and then I realized why you're named what your middle name is.
Yes, I made you feel bad for making fun of it.
really bad. It's Gregory, right?
It is not.
Wait, Gordon.
Gordon, yes.
There it is.
But I do have a friend of mine who I played golf with this weekend. You know him, Skraby Mike, our guy, Mike Golovko.
yeah.
He calls me, and has since college, he calls me short for Gordon. He calls me Gord.
Yeah, I heard that, and I thought
Anybody who sees him, like if we're around and he goes, "Hey, Gord," people would go, "Who is he even talking to?" Yeah.
Do you want to know what I thought when I heard it? I thought, okay, because I didn't put it together as your middle name.
Right.
I thought, all right, why is he calling him Gord? Is it because Chris likes hockey and they both like Gordie Howe or something? So Chris's nickname is Gord.
No, that's not
it's
it.
your middle name, which is much.
Yeah, but he's the only
Simpler.
one that, and he's done that for as long as I know. So strange
K-Law
but true.
says, Chris Gord Ello.
Yeah, it is what it is. We all have a middle name, most of us.
But do you like going by Gordon or Gord?
I don't really. I don't go by either of them, honestly.
All right, Gord.
Yeah,
Look
call
up
me
Gord.
Gord if you guys want to. I'll respond.
Baseball coverage on 97.3 The Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi. One price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. Jackson, we talked about it. He's starting to swing the bat better. Just went back and looked at his high school swing. Is it that easy? You just got to go back and just look at some good film that made you feel good?
Whatever. I mean, he's probably tried everything else.
I'm sure,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure he was fit to be tied as he was, down there around 200. But not only is he hitting better, but I mean, the throw he made yesterday to cut down was it yesterday or Saturday?
Saturday.
All 3 games now are kind of
They are.
together
Run
since
together,
they won them
for
all.
sure.
But that was a big play. I know that because the Marlins may have got something that inning. Those are the kind of things that don't look a lot in the scorecard, but they mean a lot to you winning games.
Yeah.
But, he's what is he? Jackson's got I said 11-10 OPS, 5 homers. Ty France has 5 homers since the All-Star break.
This boy's been swinging it.
Since June 9th, Jackson's batting .275 with a 88 OPS. But really what he was saying, it was interesting because he has been saying for weeks now, he just doesn't feel like himself, and he's got to get back to feeling like himself. And apparently, because Chris, we talked about it, what is that? And Chris was right. Being more free swinging, being more
I don't
so
know.
robotic. Well, yeah,
you
but
can't say that I'm right because I don't know enough about hitting.
Well, you brought it
tell
up
him.
saying that
I just
Jackson
said
probably
mentally
needs
maybe
to be freer.
But I think everybody says that when they're struggling, don't they, Tony? You want to clear your head and just hit the ball.
You want to have
but
one
if
thought.
everybody could do it, you would never be in a slump.
But so he went back to the high school footage because he remembers in high school he just swung free and he could hit it all over the park, and he wanted that memory. So he went back and watched
I
that.
think if we just are like trying to simplify it, I think he has gotten through the mechanical part that he was struggling with early. And now, for me, every time I watch Jackson now, I only watch to see if the pitch was a ball or it was a strike that he swings at.
Yeah, that's a good way to judge him.
Because when it's a strike, good things happen at a very high clip.
Yes, you're right.
But when it's a ball, with
good-
the exception of the double he had, was it yesterday he had the double down the left field line?
Again, it all runs together because they did it all weekend long.
I think it was yesterday. He hit an 0-2 sinker that was about, I don't know, 3 baseballs off the plate and flipped it in the left and turned it into 2. Outside of that, when he goes outside of the zone, it's almost always
But it's hard
out.
for anybody to hit outside the zone unless you're I'm trying to think of some guys. Was it Vladimir Guerrero? Remember?
One of the best bad ball hitters
Remember
of all
we asked
time.
him, how do we get you out at the Hall of Fame? And he goes, throw it right down the middle. It's the only pitch I couldn't hit.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and I think that's what it is. I mean, anywhere in that rectangle box, if it's even touching the line and Jackson attacks, he's good. It's just when it's outside that he makes outs.
Manny Machado, I mean, the home run was, sensational. The timing of it, the way I was really a little surprised. Guys don't always make smart pitches, but you still have to do something because the pitch before was right center cut and he missed it. And I thought he's not going to throw him another one of those. Did he not just see what happened?
But he threw that bad boy at like the top of the zone.
That's right, but still.
And it's an area that if you're going to pick a spot to throw.
The Manny's line is at the top, middle, and in. It's an L like that, according to the hitting chart I saw.
that's just Manny being
That's
Manny
a great
right
piece
there.
of hitting. But
he got on top of that bad boy, and he didn't even hit that ball 20 feet off the ground. It was
beautiful.
A low liner that got out to the deepest.
By the
part
way,
of the
I'm not here to criticize the other team. I hope they all fold over. But do the Marlins just not pay attention to what's happening? I mean, you give up a double, a homer, and a double, and the guy goes out to talk to the guy in the 8th inning, and then they leave him in. I mean, what are you doing? Whatever.
Well,
thank you.
They had a.
Did they not have anybody ready to come in at all?
Day the first day, and then we came back on them that second day. They used a lot of arms.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah, I know you're not
skipper.
paying, but I was just like, I was surprised that was it Bakar stayed in the eighth inning. They just obliterated him.
The guy with the long hair.
Yeah, Padres since the All-Star break, Tony, 19 home runs.
Bacher.
Oh, it's Buck. Okay,
It's
Bacher.
Yeah.
All right.
I only noticed because I had to phonetically write it so I didn't butcher
You
it.
also have the master of pronunciation next to you in the booth.
That part too.
Yeah. Padres lead baseball in home runs since the All-Star break with 19. They are third in runs scored with 63. They are third in OPS at 867. And that is all terrific news, but I do want to temper, because Skraby wants me to. They did all of that and only went 5-5. Like, I kind of wish they did a little better than that, hitting like that.
That's where.
So that's something you got to do too. They're probably not going to stay this hot. So the pitching is going to have to be the key here, right?
No, I mean they're going to have to stay.
Oh, you're going to say they have to stay this hot?
I'm just keeping it a buck. They're going to have to score runs.
Yeah.
This week to win games because. You got, was it Michael going tomorrow?
I think so, Michael.
You got Michael, and then it starts over again.
Starts over, and so starting to get your sewing kit out and get the quilt going.
and listen, I think they are managing those games outside of the Walker and King or the Walker and Michael start. That they're probably gonna manage it that way
through the weekend. Well.
I'll tell you what. Here's the best advantage of it. At least you get to do it at Petco Park. Could you imagine having to do that in Coors for 2 days with that kind of?
May not
I don't
work
know.
As well.
I don't think it. But I like the comfort of being at home in order to try to pull.
I wish they could get Estrada and Adam, but I know Adam's at the end of next month. Probably Estrada's not into August. They could use all of their guns in the bullpen right now.
How much are? I mean, first of all, shout out to Yuki Matsui because he has had to kind of fill that role.
Yeah.
And really, all of those guys who are kind of coming in, whether it's Yuki, who else we got coming out of there? I can't remember.
Kyle Hart.
Kyle's, he's had his moments.
He had his moment. He had the rough night, but he came back the next
Friday.
Back. Who else? I'm missing so many guys. There's another righty in there. I'm missing.
Well, you got Bradley. You've got obviously Moynihan and Miller at the back, but
it's been those
they've
five
all been helping
really
out,
kind of like
they've
patchworking it.
They've all been finding a way. And speaking of Mason Miller, the one thing I will say about this weekend, winning all 3 games to me, which may be happiest of all, is that, most stories I read today said, the Mason Miller trade thing may not be as big. They may not be looking to trade him. I'm like, first of all, I hope they weren't really looking to trade him because I just don't want to trade him. I just think he's too much of a unicorn to part with under any circumstances.
I think the only way it could have been even a real legitimate thought is if that road trip didn't finish the way it did.
That's what I mean.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
the 3 wins kind of maybe.
But it could still go that way if they go 0-6 in this next homestand.
Bite your tongue. Don't even say that.
I'm just trying to keep it a buck.
Pump the brakes. Jameson Taillon was DFA'd by the Cubs. You guys interested in kicking the tires on that? Apparently, he's not been great this season.
I know he shoved against us.
Game 3 of the playoff last year. He eliminated
and
us.
game whatever one we played him in Chicago.
Incredible. Yes, sir. It was the best game he pitched all year was this year. I'm not interested. He's given up about, 60, 70 home runs? It seems like. I know
he's
not,
given up
but-
a lot of home runs. He's 5.92 ERA over 76 innings.
Wrigley's not the greatest place to.
He gave up 7 runs yesterday against the Pirates. And
If you bring Tay on in,
And they almost won, too. They almost came back and won.
if you bring Tay on in, he would just be part of the Quilt crew. I don't think you'd be trusting him for an 8-inning game.
Is Lucas Giolito coming back ever?
That's a good question.
Asking.
I have read that it's looking like Nick Pivetta and Joe Musgrove are going to be back by the end of August.
I know we got a report the other day kind of giving us an update on their innings and how it went. And I think they were supposed to schedule to throw the following day. I didn't hear anything about that one.
All I've read is good. Things are progressing nicely.
That would be a very nice.
Oh God, that would be
very, very nice.
change things
gift.
dramatically.
All right, let's get to break. On the other side, Drew Goodman,
One of our favorites.
Colorado Rockies voice, will join us next. More Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Woods on the Fan.
We got our pal Jesse Rogers.
It's always nice when you start with a home run.
No doubt about
And
that
496, come on. I don't know why I swung at that. Come on, pitching coach. Get it up. That's what she said. Go. That was almost like his walk-off home run. Ooh, that one sounded good. Keep going. Oh, 511.
Monster home run.
I don't know if that's actually happened. Oh, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Oh, wait.
That one is
Wow.
gone.
I didn't need it to go. Go. That one's gone.
His third in a row.
Where am I? Oh, the scoreboard disappeared. I think that's too high. Let me see. Scoreboard.
That one's out of here and into the
I
second
think
deck.
I'm tied for second, and that one's going to hopefully keep me there and put me in first. Ooh,
5
even
straight
longer.
Home run.
I think I maybe hit it. Oh, wait, no. That's me. Right out there.
6 consecutive home runs.
I was watching another one. Oh, I think that was off the end of the bat. Terrible.
Make it
Wait,
7
I
in
made
a
it?
row now.
It's Coors Field, man. Go. Oh. Didn't have a shot. Oh, I think I'm too far ahead. Nope. Home run.
Another home run.
Okay, what, 9? I was looking at the score thing. I think it might be a home run, though. Ooh, it was.
Goodbye. He takes on the bleacher
Oh, I'm in
section.
second. Ooh, that was a high pitch. Is that going to go? It's a little bit early. But it's gone.
That one's out of here. Now 11 home runs for him.
I'm hoping that one is. I don't know. Yes.
And there
I'm
we
having a hard
go.
time judging
Into
these
the
things, apparently.
bleacher seats.
Oh, that one just sounded amazing. So what, I have like a
That's
minute
3
left
in a
with
row
13
now.
home runs. I'm still in second. Oh, that one. I need to basically hit a home run everywhere. Oh, that one
Goodbye.
worked.
That's into the
Didn't think it was going
bullpen.
to clear the wall. That one also sounded great.
That is now
Oh, wow.
5 in a row.
Yes, I think I got it. 16 with what, 36 seconds
6
left?
consecutive home runs.
Oh, is it going to get inside the pole? Yes.
Make it 7 in a row now.
I need to keep up. Oh, that's not going to help me at all. It's 15 seconds left, and I'm in second. I need 2 home runs. I don't know. No. This is only the first round, but still. Ooh, that one was stroked. Oh, 495. There we go. Take it. It's always nice when you start with a home run.
No doubt about
And
that
496, come on. Ugh, I don't know why I swung at that. Come on, pitching coach. Get it up. That's what she said. Go. That was almost like his walk-off home run. Ooh, that one sounded good. Keep going. Oh, 511.
Monster home run.
I don't know if that's actually happened. Oh, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Oh, wait.
That one is
Wow.
gone.
I didn't need it to go. Go. That one's gone.
His third in a row.
Where am I? Oh, the scoreboard disappeared. I think that's too high. Let me see. Scoreboard.
That one's out of here and into the
I
second
think
deck.
I'm tied for second, and that one's going to hopefully keep me there and put me at first. Ooh,
Five
even
straight
longer.
home run.
I think I maybe hit it. Oh, wait, no. That's me. Right out there.
6 consecutive home runs.
I was watching another one. Oh, I think that was off the end of the bat. Terrible.
The gang's all here. Off day for the Padres. Back at it tomorrow. Colorado Rockies are coming in for 2. And Drew Goodman will join us in a minute to talk all things baseball, including, the Padres. A lot of fans have said we need a catcher. That's another one of the wants. A lot of people want the Rockies catcher. I don't know if he's even being shopped.
What would that cost?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll ask Drew Goodman.
Arm and a leg, I can tell you that.
Isn't Drew Goodman going to make the call on Hunter Goodman?
Oh, hey.
Hey, all right. We'll ask Drew here shortly. And a little bit later on, a couple of stories that I think are really worth delving into. One, the coverage of the Kyle Shanahan car accident. A lot of people are saying that ESPN sat on the story at the request of the NFL. Is that the best journalism for all of us? We'll discuss that. Also, Pat McAfee raising an eye or two by saying that he cashed in with some inside knowledge on LeBron James going to Philadelphia. Is that cool? That's all a little bit later on. Were you surprised at Philadelphia, though, Tony, or did that?
That was my prediction.
Oh, it was?
It was.
Okay, well, you were on it.
I thought that it was the best basketball setup for him.
For sure.
If I'm not mistaken, Bob Myers is there now, right?
Yes, and the GM is a GM who worked with him in Cleveland way back
right?
when. Gansby, I think his
this
name
was
is.
like, and listen, the funny thing was, according to him, he kind of was going back and forth between, at first it was retirement, and then he was going back and forth between the options. And I just think the Jaylen Brown thing is one of the things that pushed it over the top.
Oh,
So,
if you are, if you are the, the Boston Celtics, you can thank them,
right, right.
for dealing Jaylen Brown over to Philadelphia and basically bringing LeBron along for the ride.
For sure.
All right, Drew Goodman, great play-by-play voice. Colorado Rockies joining us here on the SCCCU Fan Hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. And speaking of that, Drew Goodman, thank you so much for being with us, sir. But you told us earlier this season, there's no question the Rockies were going to be much better. To that end, a win tomorrow would equal last year's win total for the Rockies. I don't know that any team in baseball history has ever been able to say that in July.
Well, I guess that probably speaks to how tough a season it was in 2025.
Yeah, right.
Right. But, You know what? From afar, people can look at the record and say it's still one of the worst records in baseball. The Rockies don't want to compare themselves to what transpired last year. It's a new team. It's a new front office. It's a new direction. And we rarely, for whatever that's worth, on the air mention last year. You guys have seen the Rockies now on a couple of occasions. They're vastly improved. They're competitive. I think offensively they're way ahead of where they are on the mound. In fact, offensively, if this was an October team, like if the Rockies were good enough to play in October, you'd look at that offense, and though you wouldn't say it's the best offense in baseball, you'd say, hey, this is a pretty good offense. They run the bases well, they scrap, they can hit the ball over the wall. The biggest piece always has been the issue, and you guys know this, is the pitching. And hopefully we're going to continue to see some improvement and moving forward, whether it's the trade deadline or the off season or young guys coming up, they'll be able to match what we've seen on the offensive end.
Drew, you mentioned this team is so much better offensively, but I think when you start to look at what they have, they got some players offensively. I mean, Hunter Goodman kind of came onto the scene last year. He's continued to play well. You got Aztec for life, Cole Kerrigan there coming up. Not only is he playing well, but has showed a little moxie as he got into rushing a little bit earlier. I mean, speaking of the deadline, are there players available for the Rockies that they may look to kind of move?
Yeah, Tony, you and Chris know this, that any organization, and you're sitting here with A.J. Preller, who nobody makes more significant moves, it seems, the last 6-7 years than A.J. He's not afraid to make moves. You always listen. You'd be foolish not to. Yeah. And I know Hunter Goodman has been the center of a lot of rumors this time of year. He's a 2-time All-Star. He's on pace to hit 45, 46 home runs. If he eclipses 45, it would be a National League record for a catcher. Understanding that, the Rockies want to accelerate the process of becoming an October team. And in fact, I'm going to, roughly quote Paul DePodesta from about a week or so ago. And he said, listen, we'll listen to anybody and anything. And if it expedites the process to becoming a 90-win team, we're all in. Yeah. But this notion, and again, you guys know this notion that, you're going to go get a few top prospects that are 3, 4, 5 years away. We all know that most of the time, even ballyhooed prospects don't turn out to be impact major league players. It's just such a difficult sport. So if the Rockies are to move some guys, it's to make them better in the near term, not some, kid in low A that shows promise.
Drew Goodman is with us, a long-lost relative of Hunter Goodman. I just figured that out when we were introducing you. You guys had the same last name. Drew, I want to ask about a couple of guys because we talk about who the Rockies could trade or maybe where they have a little excess. A couple of guys that come to my mind are Brenton Doyle and Jordan Beck. One's hurt, one's in the minors now after being hurt. These were two guys that were really good. Doyle's won a couple of Gold Gloves already. Beck was seemingly on the rise last year. Hasn't worked for him this year. Is that somewhere they might be able to, grab somebody's attention?
Yeah, perhaps. You never want to sell low, right? And unfortunately for Brent, he's barely played this year. Last year was a tough year for him for a variety of reasons. So now he's a couple years removed away from a really good offensive year where he was a 2020 guy and won his second Gold Glove. So it depends. Is there somebody out there that's watched him in Albuquerque and says, no, this guy still can be impactful and he's still a young guy. Let's go get him. Jordan Beck, same situation. Unfortunately, Jordan hasn't played much this year. And when he did, other than against left-handed pitching, he really struggled. Yeah. So are you selling too low or does somebody give you enough where you feel like, especially with a plethora of outfielders, that you can make that move? It'll be interesting. I really do think it's going to be fascinating the next week or so from the Rockies' perspective. You mentioned Cole Carrick, man. I love that kid, and I think I love the adjective. I think Tony used it, that he plays with great moxie. He plays with his hair on fire.
Yeah,
Let's be honest, and I think every team needs a little edge, and he brings that. I've analogized it a little bit to when Tulowitzki arrived many years ago. That he's cocky, but he can back it up. And he's like, let's F and go. And I love that about him. He's probably got to, chill out on how many helmets he's breaking after, every time he makes an out. Last time I checked, you're going to make more outs than you're going to reach. But I love the kid, and you guys know him well because he's an Aztec, and he's playing center field every day.
Yeah, he could check with PCA on how to control his emotions.
I was just getting ready to say that. Yeah. I was like, PCA was that guy last year. Now he's on his way to an MVP, it seems like, or at least in contention for it. Drew Goodman joins us, voice of the Colorado Rockies. And, Drew, one of the issues that the Rockies typically run into is on the pitching side. I mean, we've seen some of the young developing position players come up. Kyle Karras, we mentioned Cole Carrick as well. Hunter Goodman's in that bucket of guys. On the pitching side, is there anyone coming? Is there a prospect or two that the Rockies are high on that eventually will get to this big leagues, perhaps even at the end of this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, Tony, and it's the ongoing question. Every team needs pitching. We understand that. That's what wins ultimately throughout the year, but especially in October. The answer to that question is Chase Dollander, who I can't remember if you guys saw him early this year.
Yep.
Chase was a true, top of the rotation guy. That's a rare guy. I mean, he sits on 100 with his heater. He's got cojones, and he's not afraid to he punches tickets, right? We don't have many guys who punch tickets. And he went down with UCL brace surgery, which is the better of the two, right?
Yeah, this is the new surgery that everybody's having now.
Right. And again, if you guys are aware, it's probably about a 12-month deal. So the Rockies, I just talked to our head trainer about this a few days ago. They hope that he's pitching in the big leagues, probably mid-July next year. So let's call it the All-Star break, if all goes well. And then you're talking about a guy that has shown early this year that he can be more of a top-of-the-rotation guy. The other guy I'm going to mention, you're going to see on Wednesday afternoon. I really like it. It's very early on. He's made 3 big league starts. He's a former number 1. He had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago. Gabriel Hughes, he was the 10th pick in the draft out of Gonzaga. I think he's still getting his, the top-end fastball back. He's going to work 93, 94, but he has a natural cut on his fastball. He has great mound presence. He's not afraid, which is a term I use a lot. I'm sure, Tony, you do as well. He looks the part. He acts the part. And so far, through 3 starts, he's been really good. And so he's another one where you can dream on and say, okay, Dollander, Hughes, and maybe some veteran guys, and you can strengthen a bullpen quicker, where you can have a pitching staff where you feel like we're good enough to be above 500 and be in that, at the very least, the wild card mix.
Drew Goodman, really kind of you to spend some time with us. We love having you on down here. I want to throw one just kind of general question at you. Being with the Rockies and having been, kind of at the bottom, the tail of things the last few years, and looking at baseball, and I'm looking at the 9 teams that have lower payrolls than the Rockies, and this is according to Spot Track, but 7 of the 9 are either 500 or better right now. I'm not bringing this up to compare them to the Rockies. I'm bringing this up to ask you, do you think the system is broke in terms of there being an unfair playing advantage? Because we're going to be hearing about this in the offseason, obviously, with the conversation. I know none of us know what's going to happen, but I'm just curious from your perspective what you see there. And do you think, we can get baseball, or does baseball need to be more, quote, fair?
Well, first of all, I want to go back to your original statement. You said it was kind enough for me to join you. I'm sitting on the beach. It's kind enough for you to put the Del Coronado not too far away, and so I could sit on the beach and,
You're
and
welcome.
pretend to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for arranging that for me.
Yeah.
It's the question that is, frequently talked about. It's going to be even more frequently talked about, especially as we head toward the off season. We all know that the best hands will not be revealed until 5 minutes of midnight, which means February of next year, maybe March even. I don't know if I would call it unfair. I would say that the Dodgers are always looked upon as the villain. I'm going to kind of meander my way through this in that I think it's good when a sport has a villain. I think, when the Yankees being good is always good for baseball. It has more, look at you guys. You have a nice rivalry with the Dodgers. It means more when you take 2 or 3 from the Dodgers, right, than it does, quite frankly, when you take 2 or 3 from the Rockies. And so I have no issue with that. The Dodgers have done so many things well beyond being able to stroke checks, right? So I look more honestly, what is best for the game moving forward, and what is best for the rank and file? And Tony, I'm sure you've pontificated on this subject quite a bit in the past. You're going to do so quite a bit moving forward. And I say this with great respect, because you and I know each other well.
Yeah.
I have the absolute utmost respect for anybody that gets to the big leagues. My dad told me when I was a little boy, the worst big leaguer is one of the greatest players on earth. And so I have mad respect for everybody who gets here. And 95% of the people that get to the big leagues last, 3.1 years? Yep. They're not worried about making $30, $40, $50 million a year, or even arbitration, quite frankly. So what's best for the rank and file moving forward, I think, is the most important question. And I understand the Players Association. They're going to say, look, I mean, we have the Clevelands and the Milwaukees. We just left Milwaukee. Your former club. Milwaukee wins every year, right?
Yeah.
And there's and Tampa. I mean, Tampa's in with the big boys in the AL East, man. The Yankees and Toronto and Boston, teams that can really, really spend. And what are they doing that allows them to, win divisions and play in the postseason almost on an annual basis? So it's a complex question. I just hope overall that they get it done without missing any games, not only selfishly, but we're in a time frame where, people will move on to something else.
No guarantees.
The game is in a really good place. No,
not at all.
No guarantees.
Drew, as always, man, appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us, man.
Well, sorry to interrupt your sunning at the Hotel Del. We appreciate it.
No, I got to get this pasty white body ready for tomorrow night, big open where I'm on camera for 42 seconds. So,
Don't forget a little sunscreen. We will recommend that, sir. Thank you so much.
No, I'm all about the 50 now at this stage of the game.
Yeah, right. There you go. All right, Drew.
Take care,
you so
Drew.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time. Always great to have Drew Goodman on. Anybody on from the beach at the Hotel Del. It's not bad. If we just could put a few, we can't. But if we could put Drew Goodman and Tony Gwynn Jr. in the operating room, right, then we get it done in about 2 days.
Nah, they'd run us up out of there.
Well, they would, but I'm just saying if they just let you go, there's no way we're going to make everybody happy, Tony. So we just got to do our best to make most people happy.
I just want people to know, because they may not be aware of this. As this whole thing kind of runs its course, remind you that just because we get to what would be the opening day of the season and there's no games does not mean you'll miss games. You know what I'm saying?
Right, they could miss the start of the season, but make up the games.
Make up the games. You get double headers, you get that kind of deal going. But it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I just, it's a very bold move by the owners in terms of
to lock out.
No, not to lock out. They're going to do that regardless, right? But to try to restructure a system that's been in place for decades. And so I would think that they are comfortable enough with getting up to that deadline or that day where it's supposed to be opening day and no game happens.
Let's just please do what's best for baseball. Cooler heads prevail. There's enough money for all of you. There, I said it. Hey, we were talking about it at dinner the other night, and everybody said, the players are so greedy. And I'm like, okay, how much you paying for parking again? How much you paying for
a beer?
A beer?
Why do you want to pay that much?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Do we have to pay the salaries? That's what the park. No, the salaries are all fine. They're taken care of, man. The TV money, they got plenty of money. You're still paying $50 per. Yeah, the owners are greedy too. So both sides stop being greedy.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because most fans will say, hey, if the players just stop being greedy, we can get this done in 5 minutes. A little more complex than that.
Word up.
All right, today's Daily Gambit is going to be a little different in the sense that we're going to talk about a situation. And I think it'll be interesting to kind of go back and forth on what's right, what's wrong. More Gwynn and Chris ahead.
Nobody knows San Diego sports like a local. Padres talk, Aztec hoops, Friday Night Lights, and everything in between. It's all on the table. Tune into the
I say.
Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matthew Skraby. Want to thank Drew Goodman, Rockies.tv, joining us in the last segment. We got Daily Gambit coming your way, broadcasting live from, of course, the Bill House Studios. We know how.
Chris.
Yes, sir.
I forgot to let you know this, but we're going to need a trivia question for Guns N' Roses tickets that we're going to be giving away at some point during the show.
Guns N' Roses
and company?
Yeah, Guns N' Roses, baby.
All right.
We'll do
GNR.
that. Yeah, GNR. We'll do that. Have you ever seen them in concert?
I have not.
Okay. I've heard they're great.
It should be good.
Now that they're on time, because I know that was a huge thing before, was that Slash, or not Slash, who's the lead singer?
Axel.
Axel was always late. Everywhere he went, just always late. That
There
would
was
be
a time-
really annoying.
There
if
was
I
a
part of
time,
the
and I
band.
don't know if it was you guys ever had to sit through this, but there was a time in my, concert heyday where if the artist showed up within an hour of the scheduled time, that was good.
What are they doing?
I don't know. They all thought
What's
that
this?
they make you wait longer and
Yeah.
longer and longer, the anticipation, and everyone would love them more.
No. The
telling
musicians
you
who
this
take
used
forever
to
to get to the
happen.
stage.
I wasn't paying attention. To what you
Well, I
guys
was saying
were talking
Axel from Guns N' Roses used to make everyone mad because he would show up hours late to concerts. And Chris was just saying that's a thing that they used to do all the
It used
time.
to be that
about.
way.
They're still the same way.
Is it still? That's
I
what I'm
think-
asking.
I
If it's
think
still
it-
the same,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's annoying.
I don't know. I don't go to many.
People have places to be.
You know who doesn't complain about it?
Who? The people that go?
The people that actually go.
Can you imagine if I went to a concert and they made me
Scraby's
wait
over
for
here
45
complaining.
minutes?
Oh, goodness.
Scraby's over here complaining.
He would get on
He
the
didn't even go to
crowd
the
mic
concert.
and start whining. Let's go.
Be like, hey, it's 45 minutes past the time. I got no patience.
Zero.
Are we actually doing Daily Game, or are we talking about the McAfee here?
I thought we would do the conversation.
Let's do the
'cause I think it's a more
conversation.
interesting. There's nothing major in the gambit. Padres aren't playing tonight, so we can pick it back up tomorrow.
So set this up. Apparently,
yeah,
this
'cause you
was,
saw this actually before I did.
I did. I saw it over the weekend. What's the gentleman's name? Jeff Pearlman.
Pearlman is a Sports Illustrated writer, and I didn't even really know there is much Sports Illustrated, but I guess it's all online now.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why he's got his own little thing going on the side there, because
Yeah.
there isn't much. By the way, SI was the first of the AI. Did you guys see that story? I'm sorry, I'm getting off track, but I'll get back to this.
Oh, the baseball AI?
They messed up the whole story. Did you guys see this?
There's a couple different AI stories in baseball right now. Which one are you talking about?
Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about how teams are using AI to choose pitches. And,
No.
Okay.
There was an actual story written about a game that ended up being completely wrong because AI took a couple keys
Yeah.
and thought it went one way and it didn't go that way.
I saw about that.
That
yeah.
was quite crazy. Okay, let's get to this Jeff Pearlman story.
Okay.
So as he tells the story, he is watching the Pat McAfee show.
Right.
They have Shams on, right?
And this is Friday, the day that LeBron picked the Sixers.
Well, he said,
Yes?
and so and
I have the clip if you want me to
play
play
the clip.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
wait, hold on, before you play the
Yeah,
clip,
not quite yet.
Let me
Yeah,
set
let's
it up
a little bit.
because
Yeah.
as Jeff is telling this story about watching the show, he is relaying what Pat McAfee is saying. Pat McAfee is saying, talk to Shams today. Shams is like, you need. Oh, this is the part you have.
Yes, this is the part
play
I
the
have.
clip.
I don't have Shams on the show, but this is what everybody is talking about
All
right here.
Here we go.
Yes.
Because we were told by Shams, you're going to want me on the show today. So it's like, okay, decisions being made. So I just hammered top 4. He was at plus 700. I do not know, okay, if any of it worked. But when you say needle mover,
Well, there you go. That's the part.
That's the part that everybody's on. If you missed it, he said, so a
Shams
decision
called
was going to
me,
be
or-
made.
Yeah.
He said, Shams said, did you want me on? Which in his mind, made that the decision's
coming
made.
down. And he said, so I hammered the top 4. He was at plus 700.
Can you explain what he meant by hammer?
Well,
the top
I will do
4?
my best because I don't know 100%, but maybe some people who gamble more than I do, but I'm assuming hammering the top 4 means
bets.
that I think he went to the top 4 teams.
Yep, that's what he did.
On the
And bet on
LeBron.
them.
on the LeBron wager list and hammered him in terms of some more money. Just goes, hey, it's coming down. I'm going to get more money. And then he said plus 700. That's probably what the Sixers were. And so when it hit Sixers, he hit plus 700. And apparently he scored pretty good on this. And so this is where Mr. Perlman comes in and says, was this all really kosher?
Right.
And so,
this is this a poly market deal, or is this like a
we don't know.
Gamble?
We don't know.
There were
right?
odds plus 700, so it's not a poly market.
Okay, that's odds.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so it was gambling.
Yeah, man. I don't know how I feel about this.
Do you think that at least Pat McAfee owes a little explaining to do?
I'm sure he's going to do some explaining.
Maybe I'll get you guys on the right path. Normally, I would be hating this. I would think this is the worst thing ever. Pat McAfee is the next disaster for our country.
He's not the disaster. It's the gambling that's a disaster.
Well, he's part of it.
Okay.
But he also lost money, too. He didn't know which team he was going to pick.
That's true. He went all four.
And the bet wasn't, is LeBron going to pick a team today?
Right.
It was, which team is he going to go to?
And he put money on the
top four.
options.
Now, if he said Shams was like, hey, might want to eat a cheesesteak later, and then he bet on Philly, and then he made money, then I have a problem.
Only Philly.
But he bet on the top 4 teams. He lost money on the other 3 teams.
I think he won a lot of money, and I think that's what he was trying to tell everybody. But it's not the best look, I don't think, because I think what you say might 100% be accurate, Skraby. But the look that most of us are seeing is that the top guy on ESPN has his insider for the NBA telling him ahead of time, hey, it's coming down today. So you better, if you want to do something, you better do it now. Now, I don't think Shams said that, but I think Pat McAfee thought that. And now he scores tons of money. That's what people are going to see. And that's a terrible look for ESPN. It's terrible to think that Shams or somebody of that ilk who gets behind-the-scenes info like that could actually...
But how did he get behind this? How did he win a bet because Shams said, I need to be on your show later? He didn't.
You're looking at this very literally from what was exchanged.
Skraby, you cooking right now, dog.
You're cooking okay. He's cooking, but it's not. But what he's saying is not what everybody's going to hear.
No,
I get it.
What everybody's going to hear.
Optics do matter.
That's the optics of it. The optics are that Shams Charania is getting information. He's giving it to Pat McAfee. No one else has the information. And with that information, Pat McAfee's upping his bet and hammering the top 4. I don't exactly know 100% what that means. But I'm assuming that with the information, he felt it was time to get with the gambling.
I think we have to take what the information that's being presented. Too.
Yeah,
because there could be Shams also texted him and said he's choosing Philly. So bet more on Philly. And
we don't know exactly.
But
maybe Pat McAfee
we don't even
didn't
know how much he won. Like he could have just said I hammered it. That could have been like $500 on each of the thing, or a G for each of the spots where he's going to lose $3,000.
So the bigger question is. Yeah. So the bigger question probably is all of this, guys. Where again, it goes back to the stupid gambling world.
Yeah.
And why Pete Rose is not in baseball anymore. Because Pete Rose didn't even have to bet for or against the Reds. And by all extent, he probably did both. But he never admitted to more. So let's just say Pete Rose only bet on the Reds. It still didn't look good because Pete Rose knew the day that his ace starter wasn't going to pitch. So he didn't bet the Reds that day.
Right.
He had too much information. That's why he shouldn't have been doing it. And I'll take it on.
How is it different? I guess the difference
it's not different, right?
The difference is Major League Baseball has an actual cutout rule.
Right.
You cannot do this.
And that's
so maybe
why,
the onus should be on ESPN.
But I think it is. And what if, all right, let's take a sports writer, or take who covers ESPN, McMenamin, right, Dave?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So McMenamin is at Laker practice doing his work. So they used to practice at Loyola. So let's just say they still practice. He's over there. It's 11 in the morning. They're playing at 7 that night. They're playing the Suns. They're going to be a 6-point favorite. McMenamin's not thinking of any of that. He's watching practice. And lo and behold, going up for a rebound and coming down, Luka Doncic is not walking. Now, and we're going to get into, I think this part we could maybe even get into our Shanahan discussion later, but is McManaman, his first thing is he should be reporting this. This is a big deal. But the Lakers could say, and are things like this happening, where the Lakers go, we don't want this out. And McManaman says, well, I need to do my job. And the Lakers say, well, if you report it, then we're going to cut you off. We're not going to give you the access. Either way, McManaman now has knowledge that no one else has. He could get a bet against the Lakers before they can change the line so quickly.
But there's definitely rules against that.
There's rules against everything, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
So then it goes back to ESPN. I don't know, and I think Skraby brings up a really good point. If LeBron had decided to side with the Charlotte Hornets, and we hadn't heard the Hornets at all, and Pat McAfee got out there and bet on the Hornets, only the Hornets, that would look crazy.
Oh,
now
he'd almost have to be fired on the spot if that happened.
I think, although it is very, I can't think of any other situation like this, because I'm sure Shams has told other
Shams knows stuff before the players know it.
You might want to have me on today. Like I can't buy that this is the first time that he's ever done that.
I see what Chris is saying, but
it is, and I think this is why ultimately he's going to be in the clear, is because the fact that we are kind of toggling back and forth on whether this is real or not, or good or not. Is why I think it ultimately, because there is no definitive, like,
we don't know,
this is unethical or whatever it is.
It doesn't seem 1,000.
It's bordering unethical.
It's right on the line.
Because he also only said that he bet on the 4 teams. We have no idea if he bet on anything else. We have no idea. So we have to take this at face value.
We also don't know if there was an odds in terms of how much, like when the decision came down, if that was part of what he was betting on too. We don't know.
I think ultimately
he didn't say that.
In the I think in the best interest of this conversation, we should just keep it to what we do know and not try to,
say what could have happened,
because we don't know.
A lot
we ultimately don't know. But either way, it's a great conversation.
It's a conversation that needs to be looked into for sure.
I have a sneaky suspicion now that this has happened, it won't be the last time we're having this conversation. Because if people feel like, or let's say, the unique thing about Pat McAfee's show is it's his show. But it's licensed to ESPN.
They don't own him.
And he's using a ESPN
platform and guest. And
so it's just...
Well, Skraby said earlier,
he's a very in his one-of-one situation,
unique
right?
position.
Nobody else has that kind of
that's pretty crazy
kind of deal.
So pretty crazy.
Which is why he's about to get paid $60
Let me just read a little
this.
bit of Jeff Pearlman's comments or what he was saying.
Yeah, it's there from what Jeff said.
Like he says, you've got Shams, their NBA insider, on the show with the guy talking about how he used information that he received on his show from people involved with his show to gamble on where LeBron James is going. Pearlman said, quote, and this is just fine in modern media. And I know some of you people are like, can you just stop? It is so poisonous and so ruinous, gambling in sports, and it is crazy to me that ESPN keeps firing people, shredding salaries, cutting this, cutting that, but the gambling thing, they're all in on. So he's not even really ripping McAfee so much.
He's not.
As he's making the whole double standard with ESPN, how anything to do with gambling, they're doubling down. But they're firing legit reporters. And this goes back to a lot of his friends who were fired last week by ESPN. Carl Ravitch's, Stefania Bell's.
Wait, she was fired?
Yeah. And now you're upset.
Oh,
okay.
man.
Yeah, see, he didn't care last week. Now he's upset.
I mean, Carl Ravitch, I'm going to be honest, didn't really bother me at all.
Yeah.
I hate that the guy lost his job. It's not going to make me lose sleep at night. I love Stefania Bell.
Well,
this is ridiculous.
Give her a call and tell her to lend her your support.
I blame Pat McAfee and his $60 million that Stefania Bell's fired.
Last thing from Jeff Pearlman, and then we'll let everybody else think for what they want. He said, any remaining pretense, and I really mean this, any remaining pretense that ESPN is anything more than a money-making entity is BS. They're not a journalistic entity anymore. I don't know that he's wrong.
I can't. There's going to be a lot of people who feel like that, too.
And I think ESPN does owe it to us to have some semblance of journalism because we like to believe that they are our source for getting news.
They are seeing, I think they are making a decision that the gambling thing and the way sports is covered now is making a complete change. I think they are, in their mind, I'm not saying it's true or not true, in their mind, they see the Sports Center as we know it as the old hat.
Oh, yeah.
More personalities, more opinion, more debate. That's kind of where they're going, right? I mean, the thing
Do they even show highlights of games anymore on Sports Center? Not too often.
You know, I tell you what, we were talking about a show, but after every Sunday and Pat McAfee shows come on, you get all the highlights and their commentary. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different look now.
Yeah.
And gambling is at the center, and I don't know how you call it. I guess is it a podcast? I don't think
it's somewhat of a podcast. Yeah, because it's not like
that is
on the
where ESPN thinks sports is headed.
Yeah,
they like.
We gotta get the break though.
I know.
Well, there's going to be more of this because honestly, Tony, the Shanahan and the handling of that story is a cousin to this.
Yeah.
It really is. I'll tell you how stop making it about your 49er coach. We're talking about something completely different.
I guarantee you that if this was any other coach, he wouldn't be this angry.
I'm not angry at anything. We're just having a discussion about the way it was handled.
To me, this also ties into the Diana Rossini thing in some
maybe
little small way of
I mean, if you really want me to be critical of the 49ers, I'll ask you to explain to me why they have a former cokehead now running their team.
Yikes. Let's get to break. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break, and the commercials did not play. And the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm going to laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. It's not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk. My mouth is dying right now. Yeah, this is not fun, guys. I'm never gonna do that again because my mouth is on fire. Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick, so goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break, and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm going to laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. That was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. Doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. Not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious.
We just don't know how to quite settle the whole gambling issue. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Skraby, all guests on the program, SDCCU Fan Hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better if you're walking along the shore there, the beach at Hotel Del. Say hi to our earlier guest, Drew Goodman. Seems to be enjoying his off day in San Diego. If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's. Authentic Mediterranean cuisine. It's in Coronado. We should send Drew over there or have them send some food over.
That's a great point.
Yeah. La Jolla dining takeout options. Visit spiroscuisine.com.
Do you guys remember last year when we were in Atlanta, Eli White made that crazy running mistake?
Oh, yeah, and it got like the third base coach fired and all this other stuff.
Do you remember that?
I don't.
Did you
for
see
some
him?
reason.
Did you see him over the weekend in Baltimore?
No. Did he do it again?
He got saved this time. He came around first, and he was like stumbling.
He was falling over?
And he ended up like, you ever see Major League when Willie Mays Hayes dies in the second, and he's like 6 feet short of the bag?
Yes.
This is exactly what happened to him. He's like 6 feet short of the bag, but the throw from right ends up getting by the second baseman. So
he's
like
able to crawl
to
in.
the second base.
I remember
It's like, this guy can't stay on his feet.
There's a very funny clip back in the day of Willie Stargell stealing second for the Pirates. Of course, Willie was a big guy. I think it was a hit and run, right? He wasn't straight stealing, and he knew he was going to be out. So he slid maybe 15 feet before the bag And then as the Cub second baseman came over to tag Willie, got up and looked at the ump and tried to call timeout. It's a very funny clip if you ever want to see it.
I just watched the Eli White thing.
Eli's funny.
He goes around first base, and then he trips, and he starts doing that thing where he's trying to get his balance back, but he's not. He just falls. Wait, say that guy's name one more time, Chris? I'm going to look it up later.
Willie Stargell. Yeah, the old Pops.
Pops. I know.
Yeah, good old Willie. According to Jeff Passan, a tweet that I read today, says Jeff, there are MLB owners who think there will not, capital, N-O-T, will not be a single game played next season. And then there's a picture of a forlorn Rob Manfred here, like, I don't know. Let's just hope that that's a little overkill.
I think you got anytime there's a report like that, just know that someone's putting it out there. Yeah. On purpose.
Yeah, get the players to think that there's going to be no season.
Right. Yeah. And that's the whole purpose of
what's your statement? Because I was at dinner the other night, and we are talking about it, and they said, are they going to, are the Padres going to make the playoffs? I said, I hope so. It doesn't look too good. Is there going to be baseball next season? I go, I don't know. I hope so, but it doesn't look too good. And then the people I'm with in mass, it's like, these players, man, they're just so greedy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So what's your comeback? Because give me help. Because I'm trying to make it a little more even in their minds and understand that this isn't a one, you know what I mean? It's not a one-way street here.
No, I think it's. I think both sides have to be willing to give a little. I mean, listen, as a former player, as a son of a player, a nephew of.
You were in
a
household that was holding out for, was it 6 months, 7 months?
Yeah, well, it got to what
94, 95, even longer than that.
Yeah, because it ended August 9th, I believe it was, and then rolled all the way until April.
How was Mom Gwynn doing during that time? Telling you, Tony, you want to get this thing settled, please?
Nah, my mom was.
She was cool.
She was all on board.
Yay,
she knew what it was. I just think it's built in that way for us, the masses, to think that the players are being greedy, because that's who we see every day.
Yeah.
We see them every day,
and we see what their money is like.
Right. We know what they make. Yep. We know, they're in our face.
So we have tangible numbers in front of us for that.
Right. We don't see the player. We don't see the owner's books. We don't know how much they incredibly make.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
we don't know.
Now you can Google and see someone's net worth, but there's no tangible. It's not the same as consistently seeing that Juan Soto makes what he makes every year. And it's not even just year. They break it down to the game, the pitch, the hour.
We should also understand, Tony, that probably one of the reasons the owners never want to show their books because they don't want the fans to see what they make either, that they can try to keep the court of public opinion on their side.
That has always been the holdup, right?
Yes.
Even if the players were to be like, sure, let's we'll entertain a salary cap. Let's open up these books and see what it looks like. We'll see what.
I jokingly mentioned the 49ers are being run by.
Yeah, it wasn't a very popular comment out there, saying that because you did that, you don't get a second chance in life, Chris.
I haven't said a word about it. I just said what's happening.
You said about the coach earlier.
Yes, he's a coach who had a majorly bad, obviously, cocaine habit, enough so that he was caught on video snorting cocaine with a dollar bill.
Wait, is that what you sent on the chat?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that's him.
2018.
I was busy doing something,
so I
only saw the picture. I was like,
okay, no, this was
like he was sniffing cocaine.
The guy's name is Chris Forrester. He was a coach with the Dolphins, of course, the Dolphins. 2018. He's in the facility, and somebody's videoing him snorting cocaine with a dollar bill.
In the facility?
Yes.
Oh, you got to be a bold fold.
Either that or there's no rules in the facility.
I mean, it is the Dolphins, so maybe it explains something.
No, never mind.
Anyway,
and it is Miami. So.
Yes, right. So the Dolphins, or he resigned, I think, it's just like, hey, I'm out. Obviously, I have a problem. I got to get help. Anyway, that is the guy who took the reins today for the recovering Kyle Shanahan. His name is Chris Forrester. So I just thought that was interesting. And Skraby, before you want to, rip me for everything that you normally do, I really, truly hope that this guy can be an example to anyone out there.
Okay.
That no matter how low it goes, because that's pretty low,
I know you're joking about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I just like to bring it up when someone else brings it up because it empowers me a little bit.
Good.
It's like,
But hopefully this
see,
guy's
I knew you shouldn't have made that.
It empowers you a little bit.
Yeah, like, I knew I was should have told Chris not to say that.
But hopefully he, he's a good
I hope
example
so.
to a lot of people. I mean, this guy was, out of a job, out of life, out of everything. And he even said, Chris Forster said, hey, I owe a lot to the 49ers. They're the only ones that would give me a shot and give me a chance. And, I'll never, forget that.
We could talk about it a little bit more later, but a lot of addicts or ex-addicts go to Kyle Shanahan because Kyle Shanahan has had coaches go through there that are going through programs and getting back to their feet. Like Mike McDaniel is an alcoholic, and Kyle Shanahan helped him get through that. Before we get into that, though, we have to play the Braves announcers from Freddie Fermin. Remember that? Have you seen this whole
let's
thing?
do that. Let's do that together with what we heard. Well, I don't know if we heard the Miami announcers. I just know what they were whining about this weekend.
That, and then we have the Braves announcers, and then
But I
we
want
have
Tony
Kyle
to hear
Shanahan.
the Braves announcers.
Yeah.
Did you hear the Braves announcers?
I have not heard.
Oh,
that.
We want to get your professionalism, whether or not you think is professional.
Who are we talking about?
We don't know the names, but I believe it's Francoeur and the
and the
play-by-play
guy.
Yeah.
But wait till you hear what they were saying the other day, Tony. We'll see what you think.
I believe that's the voice of Madden, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. Brandon something. I can't remember his last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be happy to listen.
The reason someone on the chat asked, and I was like, you know what? We need to.
Now we'll have to do that. We'll talk about what the Miami announcers, because they were critical of Fernando this weekend. Is that their place to be critical? That's a conversation that I'm taking a bath on, so I don't mind taking more of a bath on that. But we'll do that in the 4:00 hour. I think next we're going to pick up. Speaking of Shanahan,
yeah.
And the way this story has been reported has a lot of people wondering about, again, ESPN. So we'll talk about it next.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So all the way straight at the back left.
Straight back left.
Straight on that back wall.
This one?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tony?
I don't know how I'm feeling right now, honestly.
Excited?
I'm definitely excited. Hello. Eric, how you doing? Pretty good.
Wow. Just like I told you, next to the famous Barney Dreyfuss and Leslie Wilkinson, whoever they are.
That does look like them.
I know. It's a good shot. They don't do them all that great. That one's good. Really good.
I missed a year. 300. Must have been bad. Huh? I used to be. Not anymore, though.
Oh, it's so cool. What team did you play on?
I can give you a long list of them. Brewers, Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, Nationals.
What position did you play?
I played outfield. This was my dad. There's Dick Williams, Goose. I think he'd be pretty happy with his company over there. So.
What are you thinking to see it for the first time?
I'm thinking
I'm hot. I'm quite warm right now, but it's cool. I mean, it's what I thought it was going to be. I mean, who not too many people can say they have a dad that's enshrined in this place. So I think this is awesome.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So All the way straight and back left.
Straight back left.
Straight on that back wall.
This one?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tony?
I don't know how I'm feeling right now, honestly.
Excited?
I'm definitely excited. Hello, Eric. How you doing? You good?
Wow. Just like I told you, next to the famous Barney Dreyfuss and Leslie Wilkinson, whoever they are.
That does look like them.
I know. It's a good shot. They don't do them all that great. That one's good. Really good.
I missed a year. 300. Must have been bad. Huh? I used to be. Not anymore, though.
Oh, it's so cool. What team did you play on?
I can give you a long list of them. Brewers, Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, Nationals.
What position did you play?
I played outfield. This was my dad. Oh, there's Dick Williams, Goose. I think he'd be pretty happy with his company over there or something.
What are you thinking to see it for the first time?
I'm thinking
I'm hot. I'm quite warm right now, but it's cool. I mean, it's what I thought it was going to be. I mean, who not too many people can say they have a dad that's enshrined in this place, so I think this is awesome.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So all the way straight and back left.
Straight back left.
Straight on that back wall.
This one?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tony?
I don't know how I'm feeling right now, honestly.
Excited?
I'm definitely excited. Hello, Eric. How you doing? You good? Wow.
Just like I told you, next to the
Hello, Matt Skraby. Kind of teasing it, talking about it during the break. Kyle Shanahan. First, give you some of the details from this accident.
Yeah, we should all be
kinda
say a
gruesome.
little prayer and say that he's okay, because that's number one here. It was a bad accident.
Of course, I can't find it now. Give
Now
me a
you
second.
lost it.
We literally just were
I was
talking
you were
about
just
like 5
reading the
seconds
whole
ago.
Just
thing.
reading this thing.
Basically, he has 40 stitches in his face. He was hit on the we believe the left side because his left side is the injured side.
According to his friend Chris Sims, the old broadcaster, they were teammates in college. Chris Sims said pictures were sent to he and his wife soon after the accident. And he said the laceration was so bad on his face, you'd wonder how his eye didn't
Yeah, they
he
say he
lose it
almost
all.
lost his eye.
Lost his eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
was scary.
yeah, sounds like it was a pretty gruesome accident. Broken hand, broken ribs, 40 stitches,
Broken nose.
concussion. But that's not actually what.
Yeah, because I think everybody's on the same page there. We're happy Kyle Shanahan's okay.
Happy
even,
he's alive.
Even those of us who don't like him.
Ironically, he was coming back from being.
Don't ignore me over there.
He's trying to. His face was twitching as you said that. He was actually coming back from the chiropractor.
That's very
ironically,
ironic.
That when he got into this
He's all
accident.
relaxed. He's on his way to get a massage, probably.
But the problem with this whole deal was how the story was broken. Now, Chris,
Right.
I'll hand this over to you at this point because you have the details.
Well,
on
I mean, we found out about it, all us and everyone else in the world basically found out about it over the weekend. I think Saturday night. It was posted at midnight, from what I understand, by the 49ers. They finally released it. So when it first came out, we're like, okay, this is too bad. I hope Kyle Shanahan's going to be okay, and et cetera. He's going to miss some practice. He'll be there, but he's not able to run the team. But what we, have learned here as we've gone along is that the car accident itself actually took place 11 days before Saturday and now 13 days ago. And again, you make your own determination out there. Maybe they should keep it. It should be private. It's Kyle Shanahan's own business. He's in a car accident. He's not doing great. It's a pretty serious thing. Maybe it shouldn't be released. The problem that I'm having, and I think people are having, is that we know that Adam Schefter knew about this because he tweeted it 1 minute after the 49ers released the information. We also know that ESPN, the whole conglomerate, they totally knew about this because they wrote a whole story was released 2 minutes after. Now, they would have had to already have the story written, and they were just waiting for the 49ers to, quote, give them the go-ahead. So is that, though, how our journalism should be working? That is the question at hand here. Should the 49ers be able to control this narrative, or is it ESPN's job as what we feel is our watchdog in the media to tell us what's happening and tell 49er fans what's happening, et cetera, that this has happened?
First, my question is, how confident are we that ESPN had the story and they just didn't?
I'm just saying they had to have had it because there's no way they could have put it out 2 minutes later, Tony. They couldn't have written it that fast.
I would like to disagree with Chris, but I cannot.
Oh,
I believe the story was written before.
It had to be.
I was talking to a writer over the weekend, actually, and that's what happened.
Here's the question I have. How far in advance is too far in advance to not
hold on to it?
Yes.
How long is too long?
How long is too long to hold on to a story?
How long?
Because I'm saying if they knew 11 days prior, like when it happened,
yeah,
right,
I would feel differently. But if they knew
3 days, then you say
48
hold
hours,
on to it?
72, and they're like, could you give us 48 hours, whatever it is? I have less of an issue because I feel like that's been done before.
So you think Shanahan and the 49ers should maybe have a good 48 hours, 72 hours?
No, not necessarily.
To be to themselves and everybody. But
I guess my question is, does it matter to you? If it
doesn't matter
if
to
it was
me.
11 or if it was
doesn't matter a whole lot. This is weird. I didn't even think about this, but this honestly happened to me as a Cub reporter at the Daily Aztec. I'm going to go way back here.
Wait, you were a Cub reporter at the
Cub,
Daily?
You know what a Cub
Aztec?
reporter is? Cub means you're new to the job.
I know.
My first assignment was the women's tennis team. And they played a match at UCLA one day, and they drove up in like 3 or 4 different cars because obviously women's tennis a little lower on the totem pole. You got to get your way up there. So I was, along for the ride as the reporter for the school paper. Anyway, the match got rained out. So we got all back in the car. We all drove back to San Diego, except we all had to stop because one of the cars, not in my view, but one of the cars carrying the coach and a couple players got in a fender bender, an accident. And one of the players had a torn up knee a little bit. And he was in the hospital.
Torn up knee, like he scraped it up, or they tore some actual ligament?
But yeah, it was something that might keep her out. I think this is a long time ago, and it wasn't exactly like Martina Navratilova. It was like the 5th player on the women's team. But she had a torn up knee. She didn't play for a little while. But I didn't. I was there with the team. Well, my editor said, how'd the match go? Or whatever, on the phone. He called. And I said, well, we never played the match. He goes, okay. And I go, but we're at the hospital because the player, she's okay, but she hurt her knee and she may miss a match or 2. And anyway, I wrote the story about the best I could, knowing what I knew, which wasn't a whole lot. But I said the player, they were in a little fender bender. Nobody else is hurt. Everybody's okay, but this player may miss a match or 2. The coach of the tennis team was not too happy that I wrote all this because who knows what crap she had to put up with from the upper people who said, how did you guys get in a car accident? Who was driving? It was raining. What was going on? So, and this became a little bit of a thing. And I finally, we patched it up and I ended up covering the team the rest of the year, et cetera, et cetera. But it's interesting in a lot of ways. It's almost similar to this.
It is similar to this.
Because I'm there to be a reporter, but I'm also, should I not cover it up, but I should just not report that.
There's a couple different ways I look at this, right? You got your beat guys who are there every day. They know the ins and outs.
Yeah.
In this particular case, I don't know how I feel because it is a personal story in terms of Kyle Shanahan getting into a car accident. He's not
away from the team.
But I also
coming back from chiropractor.
Coming back from a chiropractor. I also understand though what you're saying though. I mean, it is journalism, right? That's kind of what it's been built on.
If you cover the 49ers and you show up at the facility for a couple days and there's no Kyle Shanahan, you should be able to ask, where's Kyle Shanahan?
100%.
Now, if they're holding this information from, if they're trying to cover this up and
I don't think
anybody's really at the facility reporter wise until
I don't know.
Now they are because the training camp and all that stuff has begun. But I've said this for years. Do we really need to know people's medical stuff?
Don't know. I don't know. Does TMZ
That's
really
the part
need?
that makes me a little bit like
I don't know.
What if they're withholding this to maybe protect him and his family?
Yeah. What if he did lose his eye and he wasn't ready to
disclose that?
Or he was.
Should we respect
worse.
that? Or
right.
He may have not have made it or something.
The other question that's coming down from a lot of the people who are being critical right now is ESPN is pretty closely in bed. I think they even own now about 10% of the NFL, right? Didn't they buy the NFL Network and all that stuff?
Thing as to why people are getting fired, but
okay. But my point being, does ESPN now owe it to the NFL to do the NFL's bidding when it comes to journalism? Are they?
They just can't. They can't.
They shouldn't. But can the NFL call and go, hey, we don't want this story out, man, Shanahan? Because there could be a story that could be messy that they don't want out. And then you really have a tough choice to make as a reporter.
Some pretty messy stories that I will at least defend ESPN on this.
But this is before, Tony. How about now that they're in bed so closely?
I mean, they've owned the NFL Network for a little bit of time now. That's not recent.
Yeah, it's in the last year. Because remember, we started seeing commercials on Red Zone because of ESPN.
Right, it's last year, but they had some salacious stuff happen in the last year, and I think it's been covered. I don't know that this is the story that they're going to.
We should go to the
die on the hill for.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
remember this story. Remember when Adam Schefter changed details about something that was happening with the Commanders and the investigation into the former owner and Snyder. So people found out that. Adam Schefter. Jeez, I got so many reporters running around. They knew that he changed some details and to make it better for the Commanders. The Commanders had input on that story. I mean, that's way
That's
different.
Crossing the line.
That is
way
crossing the line. I don't remember that part.
I don't understand. What is this? What is this news? Why do we need to know this news?
Okay, well, let's just use this news as a way to try and figure out what should be done in similar situations that are actually a little more maybe on the in the front lines as opposed to a coach getting in a car accident. And I'm just saying, I don't want to throw Kevin Acee in it. Anybody covering the Padres, and you said day-to-day beat writer, something happened. You're sure of it, whatever, you just happen to know. You're there. But the Padres, and I shouldn't use them let's just use a different team. Let's say
a general example.
It's a generalization, but can the reporter write what he knows? Can the team say, hey, we'd rather you not report this right now until we get a better handle on it? And then can the reporter say, well, it's my job? And then can the team say, well, you don't do what we want. We're going to start not giving you access.
They can definitely make it difficult.
Where does the line go?
They can definitely make it difficult.
Where's the line go?
There's definitely a dance that you got to do. And here's what This is what I do notice is that different places in the United States, the rules are different. I don't know that the Yankees or the Mets have beat writers that they're like, we won't give you, because they don't care. They'll get the information one way. They are going.
They're not going to listen to the Yankees about releasing it.
There is a difference. There is no doubt, and you can attest to this, Chris. There is no doubt a difference between the media.
Yeah, it's a different vibe
in the West and the media.
And I'm
and
sorry I even
Central.
brought Kevin's name up because he does a hell of a job. I don't want even him attached to anything like this could be going on.
We're just speaking. You're speaking general.
I'm sorry I mentioned his name because that's not fair. But the question is, what's right, what's wrong out there? And there's a lot of gray area. There's a ton of gray area.
Ultimately, the people can't think that what's being written is
always
angles or written in a way that leads you one way or another.
Like this headline right here from the California Post. Secrecy surrounds 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan's horrific crash. Quote, kind of sketchy.
Yeah, that's
where
BS
those
right
things
there.
lead.
That's
and if he was driving drunk, they already said it wasn't
When was that?
Who said he was driving
yesterday.
drunk?
No. I'm saying if he was, then I believe that this should be reported. Full stop. You can't if you're doing something illegal, you're doing drugs. You're
and that should be out there for sure.
That should be out there because you are making a choice.
You're putting people, safety.
A guy driving home from the chiropractor getting hit by T-bone by a car is what we think happened.
But we should have probably heard about this more than 11 days.
Why does it bother you, Chris?
It doesn't.
Here's the thing:
I'm bringing up questions. See, you're thinking that I'm bothered.
This
is not a bother.
Right.
Oh, this is personal.
Here's the thing: is that it wasn't that long ago where that was always the case. If someone got into a car accident, unless they died, we didn't know about it. Or unless they were seriously injured, we didn't know. It wasn't until the internet popped off that you could at least have some of that.
When did Mickey Mantle and Billy Martin run around New York and drink till 4 a.m. every night with reporters who didn't say what was happening?
Different
but they
times.
couldn't do it now.
Someone just brought
couldn't do it now.
Someone just brought up the Tiger Woods crash from a few months ago, and that was reported immediately. It's a little bit different, though, when Tiger Woods' car is on its side and he's profusely sweating and calling Trump and all this other stuff.
It's a hard deal.
There's also levels to this, right?
Yeah.
That's Tiger Woods, and that's just the facts.
Because of who he is.
It's who it is that's going to garner.
Should we just? I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna duck and run out of the room.
Oh, gosh,
because we're at the top of the hour. But just look at what's happening in our nation.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
I'm not going to bring up any names or politics. The bottom line is, if you report things one way, there might be a side that doesn't care for that. And you can be taken off the beat. You can be told you're getting no access. I'm sorry, whether you agree with it or not, Associated Press was told they could no longer have a badge to come in and cover the White House. Maybe you agree with that. Maybe you don't. I'm just bringing it up. You decide what's right or wrong.
Sports versus government.
But it's the same concept.
It's the same concept, but it's way different.
Again, if the Dodgers tell the LA Times you can't come down and cover the team, it's a similar concept, is it not?
At 100%.
Who wins?
It's the same concept.
Does the LA Times have the right? Constitution, does it back the LA Times? I mean, how deep are we getting here?
Yeah, too deep right now.
Yes, I know. I know we are.
Let's get to next segment. Come up, we're going to break down the First Amendment.
All right, let's just play some Chris versus the fans. We can do that.
It's a fair conversation. I don't think you're doing it because of the 49ers, but I really feel strongly about this. I don't think
it's Kyle.
No.
Yeah.
If this was Jim Harbaugh, I've said this about players before.
Sorry, I'm about to say because it's a 49er coach.
Okay, if this was Bill Belichick, I'd feel the same way.
But you think I'm picking on the story because it's a 49er coach? It has nothing to do with it.
I've known you too long. I can't separate the two.
More Gwynn Chris on the other side.
I actually got in trouble once when I worked at the bank for looking up a celebrity, and it was totally wrong on my part. Totally wrong.
Looking up their account number?
Just I searched their name in the account system, and
Skraby, what is wrong with you?
I was like 19.
You'd be better off. You'd be better off admitting that you wore your underwear inside out. Frankly,
This guy is just searching up people's accounts.
It only happened that one time because I got caught.
How did you get caught?
The account was flagged, and anybody taking a look at it gets logged. And so I got called into the boss's office like 3 days later.
What did that come? I'm sorry, I gotta ask, but nobody's supposed to be doing this preview. What did that conversation? How did it go?
Well, why were you looking up Paris Hilton? Is that who it was?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh my goodness.
I can neither confirm. That's really funny, Chris, that you just yelled out that name out of all names.
No.
But I walked in, I got called into the office, and I sat down,
gosh.
and all my boss, I loved her. She was great. Her name was Sharon. Amazing boss. She just slid the piece of paper in front of me.
You knew
said,
what time
did you
it was.
visit this account? And I looked. Yeah. She was like, we're going to have to write you up for this. And if you do it again, we're going to have to fire you. And I said, I'll never do it again. And I got out of there as soon as possible. I took everything, but it was not good. Not good.
Just curiosity, huh? He's like, I wonder how much they have in their account.
Yeah. I mean, before I got caught, I did look up athletes. And,
oh my God. I'm so glad you're sitting in this seat now.
Yes, I'm so happy you're not doing any job that can be dangerous to people's futures.
This was in the first year that I was there. I learned my lesson thoroughly.
Chris, as I said, as soon as they walked in, they was like,
yeah,
that's our guy right there.
That's our window.
We're going to take him down.
Yep.
Just lucky I didn't get caught for like I can't even say. I'll tell you guys off break whose account I saw and how much money they had sitting in their checking account.
And this was how long ago, too, by the way?
2009, 10. Way before I became a good person.
Didn't Bank America end up getting in trouble? Or was that, it was one of those banks got in trouble?
All of them get in trouble for selling information. But
I heard folks like you.
I wasn't selling any information. I was just wanting to see what was going on.
Curious.
I didn't check their account activity, which I could have. Been like, oh, they bought this here. I'm going to go up there. You know, I'm not that creepy.
Well, that's stock.
Oh, yeah, you're not that bad.
I'm not that creepy.
This is amazing, by the way. We're supposed to be doing.
How are we supposed to do baseball picks under
I
these
don't think we can
circumstances?
anymore. I think we gotta push it. You guys never did it? Well, I mean,
no, Skraby, we didn't. We didn't
Really?
Okay.
Like you work at a bank, you're looking at people's account information? That's unbelievable.
It only happened for a little bit, and then I got in
Only
trouble.
for a little bit.
I can't stop laughing at this because it is quite hilarious, Skraby.
But you were saying that I may have gotten robbed or whatever. I actually did get robbed when I worked in San Francisco, and they're called quick change artists.
How long did you work in the banking industry?
8 years. I was a teller supervisor when I finished. I was also the merchant teller, which took in around $150,000 in cash a day. Guess what? Always balanced at the end of the day.
Yeah, I bet.
But there was a guy who walked in. He had about $5,000 in hundreds, and he handed it to me. He said, "Can I get 50s for these?" And I said, you know, it's pretty annoying that he wants
$5,000 in
hundreds, and he wanted $5,000 in 50s. He just wanted 50s instead of hundreds. So I had to go get it from the vault. I come back. I'm starting to count it out, and then he's like starting to ask me questions as I'm counting it out.
He's trying to
what
did I tell you, Chris? This is what I'm talking about.
That window right there.
Hey, this guy was so good that no one saw it coming. But so when I started getting mad at him because I counted out the 50s, he goes, "What are you doing?" I asked for 20s. And I'm like, what? You did not ask for 20s. You asked for 50s, bro. Yeah. I had to go to the vault to get those 50s. And as I was getting all mad and talking to my boss, he took the cash off the counter and put it into this folder that he had on the thing that
the original 5,000 in hundreds.
Yeah, well, he kept going like that, and then I was so mad, I just grabbed it and I threw it in my drawer. And then he was like, "You know what? I'm out of here." And he walked out. And then at the end of the day, $3,000.
He got an extra 3 on you.
$3,000. Yeah, he got $3,000.
The thing about criminals like that, they can sniff out a mark really easy.
I'm not a mark.
You are 1,000%.
I was actually the bank's
dog. They got you for 3 extra.
And that's the only time in my 8 years that I ever had anything happen like that.
I'm sure there's people who've been there 8 years that never had 0 taken.
Scrape, I got a 20 here. Can I get 5 5s, please?
I hate you guys.
Let's get to
that was one of the worst moments of my life. But you know what? It taught me a lot. Never trust anyone ever again.
You know what? You definitely have learned because you don't trust very many people.
I don't trust anyone anymore.
You are.
I actually got in trouble once when I worked at the bank for looking up a celebrity, and it was totally wrong on my part. Totally wrong.
Looking up their account number?
Just I searched their name in the account system, and
Skraby, what is wrong?
A couple of hours so far. We've mentioned a lot of problems. We've solved very few of them. But we are going to have some fun here, get away from the serious talk and do some Chris versus the fans. A chance for you to win a shot, anyway, at the grand prize. 2-night stay at the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, $150 food and beverage credit. Oasis Pool Deck at Fontainebleau, Las Vegas is officially open for the season. They offer a 6-acre elevated pool experience with 6 distinct pools and Live Beach. Enter to win a 2-night stay at Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. $150 food and beverage credit. To book your stay, visit FontainebleauLasVegas.com. Now, we got Big Five in this hour.
Yes.
Skraby,
Yes,
still to come on the show. Broadcasters from other teams, do they have the right to criticize our players?
No.
We'll get into that a little bit. Padres are idle today, as you know. Michael King will hit the mound tomorrow against the Rocks. And Drew Goodman was on earlier with some good baseball info. And he was able to take a little time away from sunning himself out at Hotel Del. So we appreciate it.
Is that where the Rockies stay?
I was going to say, that's a pretty nice call.
How did you get from the How did you get from the
Don't they all
Omni
stay
to
at the
Hotel
Omni?
I
Del?
don't think the Rockies.
They all stay at the Omni,
you know
don't
who their
they?
owner is?
Oh yeah, I do know.
You
Dick
think he's
Mumford.
staying at
Oh yeah,
Hotel
no
Del?
kidding. We should. We
So
shouldn't. We can't
Drew's
mention it because we
Ubering
don't like.
to
We don't like to
Hotel
put. We don't like to put Drew Goodman on the spot. But we should have asked him how he likes his room at the Motel 6 in Mission Valley that Montford has him
Did
at.
they leave the light on for you?
Yeah.
Ain't no way he's staying. They
Yeah,
stay
he's not
at
staying
Hotel
at the-
Del.
That is funny.
That's funny. All right.
Hey, good for him though, getting around town. That's not an easy.
You might
place
as
to get
well
to.
do those
Hey,
things,
you can
right?
get an off day in San Diego. This is how you take. There ain't too many. First of all, a road team coming here and getting an off day.
Get the full day off. Yeah,
True.
that doesn't happen enough.
I hope he was there at 11 o'clock.
Oh, he said his pasty white skin was ready.
He did say that.
They came from Milwaukee. You guys came from further, Miami.
That was a long flight.
But the good news is
tracked it.
Tony had
You had to go around some
You're
storms.
so weird.
You had to go
You
around
are
some
so
storms.
We had to, on the
Doesn't
way
that bother
out.
you that Skraby's looking at your
It's a little
plane
weird.
on his phone?
It's a little weird.
Yeah,
We had
it
to
is.
do that on the way out of Atlanta. Like a huge storm came, and we had to go down to Mexico, come back around because we had to go around. Yeah, it's like an extra hour and a half.
Oh
or so.
man, that's
Never
that's
seems
brutal.
to fail anymore.
No,
Is that why Wandy gave up the home run? Because he hates
Why
flying.
do you even have to mention poor Wandy?
Because he hates flying.
I don't know.
All right, let's play Chris versus the fans.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
Howdy do.
now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get the question wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it right, or wrong, I'm sorry, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it. You'll get that question for free today.
Have you done this before?
No.
Read
never.
the instructions?
No,
Not well.
No, not well. I actually did. We're going to be using the first ever Chris vs. the Fans coded app that I have created. We're going to see how this goes, guys.
Coded app.
Look
I don't
right here.
understand what
can
this
keep-
means.
I can keep a score. It has 44 questions loaded,
This guy's been working on coding, ladies and gentlemen.
and it's going to keep the history of it.
All right.
By the way, I read
see,
a
it says waiting for new caller, ready for question 1.
By the way, this sounds cool, Scraby, actually.
thank you.
But it
Thank
also sounds like there's room for mistakes.
Oh, there's definitely.
We're going to find some glitches somewhere.
The answers I've for sure, tried to confirm. I'm not sure if it's going to work once I click the button.
All right, let's go. Let's see. I can't wait.
Okay. Let's go to Cody. Hello,
What's up, Cody?
Cody just dropped as soon as I picked him up.
Already the first
Here it
glitch.
is. First
Already.
glitch.
I didn't connect it to the phones. Oh, you know what? We got to go to Bernice. Hello, Bernice.
Hi, Bernice.
Hi, you guys.
How are we doing?
Gravy's getting all fancy on you. Huh?
He is.
Yeah,
See,
I'm
we're
trying
about
to
to
make
see
things-
how fancy
I don't
it
know
is.
how we can go Bernice. She blew us out last time she
She
played.
did.
We're about to
Actually.
find out. This whole system could be janky here. Let's see. Let's
You guys
test it
don't
out.
need to click the first time player button, Tony.
Okay. All right.
So,
We're gonna find out when we
just
get
letting
one.
everybody. Okay, here we go. I gotta click
Okay.
this though. Who was the manager of the Padres during the 2025 season, last season?
Oh, Mike Schill.
Mike Schill is correct.
Oh, don't be going there on Bernice. Man, she's on that.
Bernice knows.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. What? It's not the app. It's not the app.
It's already
it's the
glitching.
question. No, it's the questions that I am asking are confusing.
Yeah, sure.
All right, we go all the way back to that 19-2 win over the Royals. Fernando Tatis Jr. secured something. He secured his It's not ready for the prime time, guys. It's not ready for the prime time. I need to rerun some of this stuff.
So what are we doing? We canceling the segment today?
Now I go back to the old sheet.
Okay, go back to the old sheet, please.
We go back to the old sheet.
You guys think we make all this stuff up about Skraby? I just want you to know.
Here we go.
Was there not a way to try this out before we actually had the show?
I tried it. I just don't like the way the words or the questions are being worded.
I think Tony's hitting it.
No,
the AI rule.
Yeah,
but you didn't go over it.
I went through the answers, but I didn't change the question. This was my fault. We're going to get this
it ain't
working.
me and Chris, so it's all
This
good.
is only 1.0.
Okay, go ahead, man. Do your
It's
thing.
only 1.0.
Can't wait for 2.0.
I can't either. Bernice, Canada hosted matches in different cities during the World Cup. Toronto was one of them. What was the other Canadian host city?
Uh-oh.
No.
I didn't really watch that much FIFA. Toronto and let's go Montreal. I don't know.
Montreal?
The Habs.
Toronto's too close to... Or Montreal's too close to Toronto.
A little close.
Sorry,
Coast.
Bernice. You know I love you, but I think we were in Vancouver.
The
for a
West
couple
Coast of
games.
Canada.
Yes, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, Bernice.
Sorry, Bernice.
Always good to have you on, Bernice. You know, we had to keep you humble. Couldn't let you just win again.
Keep you humble,
Yeah.
he says. All right. Sorry.
What are we doing
I
here,
got
buddy?
lost. I don't know what's going on with me today. Let's go to our next contestant, Evan.
Hello, Evan.
Good afternoon, fellas.
Good
afternoon, my
afternoon. All right, here we go. Question number 1. What team did the Padres acquire Tanner Scott from at the 2024 trade deadline?
I should know this. The only thing I can think of is Miami.
Miami is correct. All right, here we
Very
go.
good. Came through, Evan.
Question number 2. Which historic stadium in Mexico City hosted the opening match of the entire World Cup tournament?
I think it's called the Azteca.
I'm going to give it to you. That's pretty good. Estadio Azteca. I didn't know if he was going to know it, but
Nice
good
work.
job. Good
I would
job.
like to know when you become the sole determiner of whether it's a correct answer or
I
not.
just did.
Did you hear him jump in there? I'm going to give it to you.
The Azteca was really what I was looking for. That was
good.
really what I was looking
Hey,
for.
good
so.
for you, Evan. You're on to the finals.
All right, here we go. All right, now this is AI written.
Wait, so you went back to your other sheet?
No. I'm in the sheet. Just don't get confused.
All right.
But I did confirm this answer.
As long as it works.
It works. And Kyle Schwarber went into the All-Star break leading the league with 32 home runs. Who holds the record for most home run hit?
Break.
Who holds the MLB record for the most home runs hit before the All-Star break with 39? So basically, who has hit the most home runs before the All-Star break in MLB history?
Can I jump in?
No.
Because you asked this question last week. Sorry.
Well, I wasn't listening last week, but I think I know the answer.
Well,
But the problem is
Take a
Chris
shot.
knows the answer. So
yeah,
just in case.
well,
I see.
don't
Hold
buzz
on,
the
Evan.
guy.
This is a.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Okay. This is a very, poor showing. You know how excited? Do you guys know how excited I was to do Chris versus the Fans today
Well,
with my new thing?
I'm going to jump in since you make up rules as you go along. Evan, go ahead and guess. If he gets it right, he wins.
No,
if
I'm
not, then
asking
we'll move
another.
on. I won't take it.
Let's go.
Mark McGuire.
He said McGuire.
I think
it would have been wrong.
And now I remember asking this, and I think the contestant actually did
Guess
say
McGuire.
Mark McGuire.
Yeah,
Yes,
they guessed McGuire.
It's very
so.
bummed.
All right, give him another shot.
Oh, we're giving him another one.
Yes,
Yeah, you
he had
messed
a
up.
free shot there.
I'm sorry to anyone who's listening for the first time. This is a disaster.
All right.
This is a disaster.
I'm not apologizing. I want to welcome everybody who's listening the first time. This is what it's usually like.
Not usually.
This is our norm.
Today is a little bit more of a disaster than usual.
A little more catty-wampus.
Yes.
Wampus.
It's all because I tried to code an app that doesn't work. I'm going to have to start entering my own
2.0,
questions.
man.
No more AI.
2.0.
All right, the very first MLB All-Star game was played in 1933. Chris was there. What city hosted it?
I was there. You're right. I welcomed the teams.
All in suits, everybody.
No kidding.
New York?
Nobody had a jersey on.
In suits is right, and it probably was hot.
Yes.
He said New York. Stay there, Evan.
I got bad news for Evan here. The guy's last name was Ward. He was the sports editor of the Chicago Tribune. He invented the All-Star game, and so the first game was at Comiskey Park.
Wow, he even knew those stadiums.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know if I forget his first name.
That's
Sorry
right.
That's why I
That's
went
right
with
up his
Ward.
alley, by the way.
I was there. You said I was there.
Well, you were.
I helped him plan the game.
I didn't realize.
What's my man's name?
It was something Ward.
You
I
and
got to
Mr.
look
Ward?
it up. Mr. Ward. Yeah.
Mr. Ward.
I'll look him up real quick.
All right. Let's go to our next contestant, I guess.
You seem a little flustered, Skraby.
I'm not flustered. I'm just really disappointed my ad didn't work, to be honest.
It's all right. You got to keep working at
Arch. No wonder I forgot his name. The guy's name was Arch Ward.
Arch.
Chris and Arch came up with
he
it.
created the All-Star game. Yep. Arch
All
Ward.
right. Here we go to our next contestant, Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
What's up, Andrew?
Hello. Skraby, you're doing great. Keep going.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And you are the winner.
Yeah, that's right. That's all you need to do
That's
sometimes.
all you needed to do.
Very smart, Andrew. Very smart.
All right. Here, Andrew. Question number 1. I don't know what to ask now. All right. What Padres closer locked down the 9th inning for the Padres between 2024 and 2025? Who was the main closer for the team?
24 and 25.
Yes.
Suarez.
Suarez is correct.
Yes, it is correct. You were down there, Tony. Is he coming back soon for the Braves? I heard an update on Robert.
When he was here, they were hoping that he wasn't going to have to go on the IL. When we went there, he was on the IL,
Right.
and I don't know that he was coming back like this week.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Question number 2. What legendary San Diego Chargers quarterback famously wore number 14 and led the Air Coryell offense?
Oh, that's up his alley. He's got this.
Dan Fouts.
Dan Fouts is correct. There we go. All right, here we go. Somehow we
You
have
better know
moved-
that, or Dan Fouts would seek you out and be
Yeah, he'll let you
unhappy
know.
with you.
He
yeah.
will?
Yeah, he's a tough character.
He
Good
is.
guy, but tough character.
Really?
He's going to hold you accountable. Let's
Wow.
put it that way. Dan Fouts will hold you accountable to the point of Dan quarterbacked in the day where if you were supposed to do 7 yards and out, and you
better
did
do
6 3/4 yards and out,
Yep.
and he missed you over the top, you'd get an earful coming back to the huddle for sure.
Okay, I did not know that. All right, here we go. Question number 3. All right. I don't really like any of these questions that I've put on this sheet.
How do you not like the questions that you put on the sheet?
Still doing great,
All right,
Skraby.
thank you.
Andrew supporting you all the way, man.
LaDainian Tomlinson has the record for most touchdowns in a season.
LT.
How many did he score?
Very good.
Which one? What or how many?
How many?
How many?
Okay.
I remember Josh Lewin making the call on the record touchdown.
Saw Josh not that long ago.
21.
21 or no? Wait, whoa. Did you say 21? Not his number that he wears.
Yeah, and his touchdown number.
Touchdowns. You going 21?
Both, yeah.
All right, both.
We said both. Okay. Stay there.
I could miss this, but I think he had 31. Okay.
Oh.
Is it 30?
You look maniac. You look.
Well, I'm flustered.
What are you
It's
flustered
28.
Okay, it might be.
But I may have not included one detail on it, which would be rushing touchdown.
He didn't. You know he didn't. You know he didn't include only rushing, but not receiving.
I should have said rushing in the question.
Well, you didn't.
I didn't. I'm looking right now. This has been probably my worst game.
This has definitely been a disaster.
This has been my worst game. I'm actually embarrassed.
Yeah,
by
he had
this.
31 touchdowns in 206. 28 plus 3. There it is.
I was looking for the 28, so Chris is wrong anyway. Since we're making up
You
rules
can
here.
give it to our caller. I don't mind. I just want to be, that I didn't forget how many touchdowns LT scored. That's all.
Skraby, what are we doing here? Producer?
Oh, we're going on.
Going on, he says.
Oh, yeah, we're going on.
Sorry,
we're getting
you
the
do
heck
not
out of
win.
this segment because this is.
Oh, you're moving past the segment. You're going to commercial.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed.
He's cooked.
I'm legitimately embarrassed right now.
He's no longer cooking. He's just cooked.
Yeah, I can't even tell you guys how excited I was for Christmas of Fans today. That couldn't have gone worse. You know those things where you're driving down and you think about how something's going to go?
And it goes nothing
and
like that.
I was like, oh, this is going to go great. It's going to be smooth. And
I got my new AI.
See, what I need to do is not do the AI questions. That's it. No
Somebody
more AI
needs
questions.
to inform Nick Sirianni of this segment because I read a story yesterday, and I'm not surprised that Nick Sirianni, if not the first, is planning to delve into AI this year in terms of getting an edge. And I think it's something
to me, it makes way more sense in football.
But I want to ask you in the next segment, Tony, why have they outlawed it in baseball? What's the matter with it?
Good. Let's do it.
All right, more Gwynn and Chris coming up.
Again, 4:23 on the Dow. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Skraby. Matt and Chris have brought this to my attention. I'm obviously doing the game, so I don't get to a lot of times hear what's being said on the other side of the other side of the, I guess, the other dugout.
The other broadcast.
Other broadcast. There you go. I couldn't figure out how I wanted to break that down there. Apparently, there was some fun had with our San Diego Padres as it pertained to the Atlanta Braves series, Skraby.
Yeah, last Thursday, day game, Chris Sale mowing people down. He was. And Freddie Fermin's at bat. Here's what the announcer said.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you Freddie Fermin is the 11th strikeout victim of Chris Sale.
Now, the only question is,
what pitch?
Heater, eyeing away.
He just went fastball. I think it's
or is
maybe
he sweeping the leg?
I think he's sweeping the leg here. I think he falls down to after he swings at it.
Pick your poison. 1-2. He swept the leg. He struck him out. That's perfect.
Chris did not like this.
No, he did.
I wasn't a fan of it. What do you, as a broadcaster, Tony?
Well, Tony couldn't be.
I mean, you got to remember
supportive.
they're broadcasting to their region of fan.
Don't mind.
And so it's right up that alley.
So it's a regional broadcast. If it was a national broadcast, it's inappropriate.
Oh, of course, if it's national, you'd never hear it on a national.
If it were me, I wouldn't have gone about it that way. I certainly try to predict, different ways, and I'll put a little hot sauce on it from time to time. They're just having fun. I think if you were watching that at bat, you kind of knew it was coming.
Oh, we all knew it was coming. The batter was Freddie Fermin. He had no chance.
It was disgusting.
And the way Sale was throwing, he had no chance.
And if I had predicted, I might have chuckled a little bit, too, if I got it exactly right like that. Like, Freddie swung, he went to a knee. Yeah. It was like, if you didn't understand the vocabulary of sweep the leg, you did after the whole swing was done.
I think it was also coming off of a terrible series for the Padres, and I just wasn't having any sort of Padres.
I mean, what was really crappy about that game was they got 3 off of Sale. Like, that's almost impossible to do against Chris Sale. And you could just watch it slowly evaporate.
Chris, have you softened a little bit on your stance?
Not really.
Okay.
I think it was totally unprofessional. I do. And I don't think Tony or Jesse would be caught dead doing it. I thought Coney and Jesse would have some fun.
Now, to be fair,
there's no question. I don't hold again. Fun is a great thing to have. I don't think at the expense of a player that's up there playing his ass off. And you're playing Chris Sale. The guy strikes out a lot of people. I don't think that was. I don't think it was right.
Is that any different than he go after punching somebody out? Because that was what Hawk Harrelson used to do after every punchy. He go. I gotta ask you this though. Dang, I don't in Jesse's in the play-by-play defense. I don't know that was Brandon. That might have been because I think they had a 3-man booth that day. I think it was CJ. I think it was CJ Nikowski and Frank Core that were doing the kind of.
Well, I hope it was C.J. Nitkowski because I would like to point out to him that he didn't sweep too many legs. He had a 5.87 career ERA. So shut up. I didn't like it. I know. I'm too old school.
I can tell.
I get what Chris is saying.
Yeah. If I'm a Padre fan and I'm watching a Braves broadcast, which I don't think I'd be doing.
Yeah, right. I never do. Yeah.
I'd probably feel a way about it too, which would be like, why am I watching this right here? I need to turn to Tony and Jesse.
Yeah.
Or Mud and Don.
I just think there's ways
Mud and Dan,
you ever seen,
as they like to call it.
I think there's
Mud
ways
and
to have a
Dan?
lot of fun out there in your broadcasts not at the expense of a player. Like to that extent.
I mean, that's not my style, so I wouldn't do anything like that. But,
okay, so wait, go back. Mud and Dan?
Oh, Don gets tweets, DMs calling him Dan all the time. We joke about it. Like we
Dan
call
Arcillo?
him Dan Arcillo.
By the way, there was could I raise my hand? My wife read a tweet to me today. I don't know how she found this one because she doesn't normally have sports stuff on her feed. Twitter said, or her tweet said, Don Arcillo is going to have to miss some time. He's got a sore throat. He can't talk. He's going to have to take some time off. I said, what was the name of the Twitter person there? And she said something, and I recognized. I said, that's just a bunch of crap.
Fake news.
I'm just saying, people stop doing that.
No, it can't. It's the when you say the toothpaste is out of the tube.
Yeah, because my wife doesn't know, and she's reading it, and she's like, "Oh man, I hope Don Arcillo's okay." And I go, "What happened?"
I don't know if it's that new anymore, but the thing now is people will attribute or just completely make up a quote and then put a picture of somebody's face on there and put that quote there, and people will run with that. Oh, this dude said this, or this lady said this.
I've done it.
It happens every day.
Because it looks exactly right.
Now you got to check to see if did they actually say this.
Yeah, sometimes you can be like, I don't think this is real, but sometimes you have to go check and see if they said it. But I know it's like Fax Sports, like FAX is one of those.
They've almost got me a couple times.
They got me one time, and I went on the air with it like 2 years ago.
I remember that.
Yeah, they got me real good.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like the Fox Sports.
I got one of those.
Yes.
It wasn't Fox. Was it? No, it was Fox. Like
there's a something.
They transpose
there's a small
letter
in there.
Yes, they transpose
makes you,
two letters. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yes, there's a couple out there like that for sure.
Big fans.
Oh man! All right, let's get to break.
Someone said about saying that about Freddie Fermin. That's not nearly as bad as someone putting a picture of Kershaw crying on the screen at the game.
That was.
Yeah, we called that out as well. So there you go. We're consistent.
All right, let's get to break. On the other side, Skraby has got a big five lined up. More Gwynn and Chris.
Gwynn and Chris.
who was on during the commercial break, Adam something or other there from CBS. But he brought up something that I've often wondered, and I agree with him. The Baseball Hall of Fame had its ceremonies yesterday. Tony Gwynn Jr., for example, when your dad was inducted, had to miss games, right? Get the okay of the Brewers to go watch your dad be inducted, which is what they should have done. But
yes,
the question that was brought up by the gentleman there in the break was, why doesn't baseball just do the Hall of Fame inductions either during the All-Star break or, a week, two before the season, so there's no games?
I think
it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think it does. Cooperstown is not an easy place to get to,
right?
And if you have it during the break, you got to remember it's not just the Hall of Famers that are going in there; it's all of the Hall of Famers.
To go, yeah.
And a lot of people travel who probably did both, went to All-Star and went down to Cooperstown for that. I mean, you get a lot of baseball. That's like for baseball nuts. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I see you can want to have some space in between your All-Star week.
I'm just saying do it like in November. Or in January. I guess it's maybe cold in New York.
I hate to say this. You're dealing with a lot of older folks. I don't know if they want to be out there in November because I know it is not nice.
I mean, Skraby and I are already planning to go in 46 when Mason Miller goes in. So
yep.
You're going to go before that because Manny's going to get in there before that.
That's true.
Manny may not invite us. Is he going to go in as a Padre?
And Mason is?
Yes. I think we know
Manny's
better
definitely
than
going
Mason.
in as a Padre. He's got more time here.
Definitely has more time.
When it's all said and done, he's going to have way more time.
Yeah.
All right,
and he's going to have records all over the Padres
Right.
franchise.
That's even better. Okay, Skraby, I'm a little more excited. 2034. How many wins Manny's contract up?
2034 or something like that.
Yeah, we could be still in for a wait. All right, well, there's no longer wait for today's Big Five.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
People actually know how hard it is to get to Cooperstown because sometimes I play a video on the commercial break of our trip to Cooperstown.
It's
not literally just a back road for like 150 miles.
And that was coming from New York,
Yes.
like the city.
Yes.
All Skraby remembers is that I slept the entire way.
He did sleep for a long time.
Skraby was mad about that.
Yeah, he was. And then I got up and we went to breakfast and I ordered 2 breakfasts.
He definitely did that.
He didn't
I
like that
remember
either.
that for sure. And then Tony got to stay, which I understand. Tony got to stay at the nice hotel.
Yes,
he
was at a little cushier.
Chris and I had to drive an hour and like 10 minutes back.
It
to
was
our
far.
hotel. It
That's
was
true.
so far. It was
They
like
couldn't get
45
us
miles
near.
away.
Yeah, no, you're right
There
about
isn't
that.
anything there. It's just
Yeah, there's not a lot of choices.
Chris and I kept driving and driving.
Yeah, we did a lot of we covered a lot of ground
We
that
did.
week.
All right.
Hey, it was worth it. It was the only time
It
we
was
got to
worth
do
it.
something like
No,
that.
that's awesome.
Was it? We got to do that, and then was it the next year we went to the winter meetings?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the Cooper. Well, the final nail in the Cooperstown coffin was when I left Skraby and the engineer at the Chicago airport.
I wasn't mad at Chris.
Did we not come to pick you up though that night?
I don't
Yes,
even
we
remember.
Did. We did. Oh, yes, you
Skraby,
did.
you was big mad.
We did.
I was pretty angry that day. I mean, I was just trying to get home. All of our planes were delayed. It was really bad.
But you missed the plane either way. So you were just mad that I made it.
The door closed. It was like one of those movie things where I see the door closing as I'm running through the airport, and they're like, "Sorry, once we close the door, we can't open it." I'm like, "Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can open it."
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's
let's get
funny.
to number.
So funny.
Number 5.
Memory.
No, it is memories. I will never probably go to Cooperstown again. So I got a trip to Cooperstown. We got to see the Hall of Fame, like all of the stuff that no one else gets
And
to
we
see.
got to see Tony see his dad's plaque for the first time, and as he's trying to enjoy it, there's 12 Little League kids trying to
Oh, that's
butt
right.
in the
I
way.
remember that. They weren't
Yeah.
butting
No,
away.
I
They were
know.
just.
They were just kind of
No,
excited.
it's actually in the video. Everybody
It
thinks
is.
that's the coolest part.
Yeah,
Is that that's my dad. Oh, what?
that's true.
Number 5.
A 97.3 The Fans trade deadline coverage is presented by City Cruises Live. Experiences done different. We do have trade coverage coming up next week, so keep a listen and we will tell you what it's all about. The Padres are likely going to be chasing down a wild card spot the rest of the season, and being only 2 games back of the wild card spot today, the Padres are probably going to be buyers at the deadline. So with the offense coming alive here as of late, Chris, are you surprised there has been no trade to give the Padres at least one starting arm?
Yet?
Yes.
I might have said I'm a little surprised. Had I not actually read something that I was going through today, all the teams that are going to be trading to improve at the trade deadline that I read about today, I think it was the Brewers, I think I read about the Braves, I read about 2 or 3 other teams. Cubs, right. They all need starting pitchers.
Everybody needs
Every
starting
one of them.
pitchers. Yeah.
So the odds that the Padres could just throw an offer out there and pry somebody away is unlikely. I think they're going to those teams that are trading a starting pitcher are going to wait, I think, to hear from everybody.
They want their best deal, right?
Yeah, so I'm not surprised. And when you look at the Brewers, what did they do? They acquired Lance McCullers, and then they DFA'd him 2 days later.
I was just about to say.
So, yeah, no, I'm not surprised because starting pitchers are going to be in demand.
Tony, are you surprised that there has been no trades to bring in a pitcher yet?
No, not at all. And here's why. You can make the argument on July 27th, there are only 6 teams out of it total. That's both in American and National League. And so then you have to start.
And one of them is the Rockies. They have no starting pitchers. Right. So now you're down to 5.
So you're down to 5, right? Yeah. And then you start looking at what do these teams have that they can offer, right? So I almost called them Oakland. They're not. Las Vegas.
You still can.
Sacramento.
ATH. They got some. I don't know that they have any pitching that anybody's gonna jump off the board.
They don't have anybody better
They got the righty that they signed for the long-term deal last year. Severino. Yeah, no, Severino. Oh. So, but I don't know that, what are you going to have to give up to get him? The Royals. They're pretty much a young team, probably more bullpen arms there that they might have to be able to give up.
I'm saying Michael Walker might be on the trade block.
Michael Walker's a good one that certainly Padres have had their experience with Michael Walker. Wouldn't be a bad. Then you go to the Angels.
Jose Soriano, everybody seems to be interested. And Reed
Detmers.
Yes, those names are out there, but everybody wants them.
Okay, so that's 3 we've come up with.
Yeah.
We move to the National League.
Peralta for the Mets.
It sounds like he's definitely going to go. That's 4. Rockies we've already gone over, don't have anyone. Then you get easy with the Giants. Buster Posey has said
Ray.
Webb is off the table.
Yeah. Robbie Ray maybe, though?
Maybe Ray.
Yeah.
Maybe Loop.
Couldn't do the grunts with
right?
Robbie Ray.
But
Robbie Ray.
that's 6 pitchers we just named. How many teams
we just said 5 teams.
5 teams. So forget the 5 teams. How many teams are actually in it?
Yeah.
Reds, Marlins, Padres, Cardinals, Nationals, Pirates are all within range of being in that last spot.
And they all need a guy.
100%. Blue Jays, Tigers, Orioles, Astros, Mariners, Twins, all in it within 5 games. So, there ain't a whole big market. And that's going to be the crazy thing. We're going to get to the end of this week, and that market is going to have developed, or you might get some. This could be the type of year, because it never develops the way it should, because everybody's still
figuring it out,
that you could get some heists that happen.
Heists.
You know what I'm saying? You end up getting a high price tag because all these teams are in it. And listen, some of them will fall off when they're like, listen, we only are willing to do this much. Are we just not going to do anything? Or are we going to go the opposite way?
Yeah.
But right now, on the 27th, this market has not developed in a way that could start to see some movement.
Should be interesting, guys. Should be interesting. It's a week from today.
When is it, the 2nd?
August 3rd.
3rd. So that would be Monday.
So a week from today.
See.
All right. Well, again, we'll have that trade deadline show a week from today.
Forgot what day it was.
Me too.
Number 4.
Jacob Mizorowski, who I gave a lot of crap to when he made the All-Star team last year, but apparently I shouldn't have given him so much crap because he's awesome. And he's the first pitcher in 106 years to K 12 of his first 13 batters. That's right. He struck out 12 of the first 13 Rockies he faced yesterday. He's only 24, I'm sorry. He's number one in basically all the stats. ERA 1.58, Ks 185, WHIP 0.75, opponent average 149. He also owns 147 of the fastest 150 pitches by a starter ever tracked. Tony, can he keep this up?
No.
What part of it? The lockdown pitching or the velocity?
The velocity. Eventually, it'll come down. I'm not saying he's going to go from like 103 to 92, but we see this often, right? The velo, as you get more mileage, starts to come down, and then you got to learn how to pitch because you can't just overpower. Now, he's got good stuff, but you also know this because they are, being very careful with him. He had all those punchies. He had 83 pitches, came on out the game. Like, it ain't not even messing around. You got 12 punchies, 5 innings, 83 pitches. Come have a seat.
Yeah.
And they know it. I think his frame is just, I think ultimately can that hold the test of time? He's not Paul Skeens. Like, they're the same height, but Paul is like a evenly proportionate, perhaps bigger than proportionate.
Yeah, he's like 6'7", like 175 pounds or something.
Who? Mirzorowski?
Yeah, Mirzorowski.
Yeah. Skeens is built like LeBron James pitching. You can see that lasting more than the Miz, but he's more. He ain't playing around.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think? Can you keep this up?
I will say my guy Carrick took him Oppo Taco. Like it was nothing.
Someone did. I saw on Twitter, one of the reporters said, no one can hit Jacob Mizorowski, and someone quoted, Cole Carrick can.
Yeah, he can. Flex
Chris,
on him.
what do you think?
Yeah, Strider, Spencer. I don't know that it's exactly the same, but there was no way that guy was going to keep throwing like that. We could look at him and see. So it just seems unlikely for Mizorowski. I do have one question, though. If you're Mizorowski or his agent, or maybe this happened, I don't know, did I miss it? Should you not hurry up and get a long-term contract and some guaranteed money right now in case you blow out before your, time is up to sign a contract? Because I'd hate to see this guy only make the major league minimum for 2 years and then not be able to pitch again.
Here's the thing. I think he'll, regardless of whether he gets hurt, I think he'll pitch again.
Right,
I think it's a matter of time.
It's hard to believe he can do this unless he's a superhuman, which I guess so far he's kind of been.
He does like Pokemon, so he might channel one of them. Did you guys see his mitt yet with the Pokemon card in it? It's pretty dorky, I gotta say. Anything else on Mizorowski before we move on?
No,
okay.
Great, super talented.
Yes.
Number 3.
Carlos Beltran was one of those inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame over the weekend, with some asking a few questions as to whether or not he and his role in the 2017 sign stealing scandal should have kept him out of the running.
Forever?
Beltran, just the 5th player with at least 400 home runs and 300 stolen bases, acknowledged his role in the sign stealing scandal. And he said, you know what, that was bad, basically. If in the argument,
you know what,
Chris,
that was bad.
Yeah,
basically.
The argument, Chris, if Barry Bonds is a cheater and can't get in, Carlos Beltran is a proven cheater and he got in. Should he have gotten in?
Well, you're asking the wrong guy, because I think Barry Bonds should be in, despite the fact that he's potentially a cheater, most likely. Yeah, no, Beltran seemed to do a whole lot besides that 2017 season, which, by the way, was his last.
He was hired to be a manager too, right?
He was able to tack on 14 home runs to his career total there, so I'll take those off. He's still 400, 300.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, Beltran, and I'm saying this despite the fact that when he was at the Mets, I asked him for an interview one time, and they told me to take a hike, basically. But I still think Beltran's a Hall of Fame player, and I especially do based on his postseason stuff's insane. You got to include some of that.
Maybe the greatest trade deadline deal ever.
Yeah, he didn't hit any home runs for 2017 playoffs, but he sure hit a lot of them in 2004 when they won the thing. He had 8 home runs. 4 in one series, 4 in the next. It was unstoppable. But if you wanted to ask me if Jeff Kent should be in the Hall of Fame, I'd say, I've never been a Jeff Kent for the Hall of Fame guy. But you didn't ask me that.
No, I didn't. If Barry Bonds is a cheater and can't get in, and Carlos Beltran is a proven cheater and did get in, should he have gotten in?
You already know how I feel about this. Barry should be in. I thought I heard a great way of explaining it. What's my man's name that used to play for the Reds?
Pete Rose? I knew it wasn't him.
Joey
Votto, yeah.
So he explained it, perfectly. Advise you guys to go check it out if you can find it.
Joey Votto's really good.
He is. He was on MLB Network talking to your favorite host over there.
Brian Kenny.
Brian Kenny. But yeah, no, I think Beltran is a no-brainer, as was Andrew. And Barry should be in. You can't have the greatest player ever.
What do you think on Jeff Kent? Hall of Fame in your mind? You
Yes.
saw his whole career.
I do. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
55 WAR for Jeff Kent, and even though I shouldn't be bringing up WAR. 75 WAR for a guy that people say is a better second baseman, Lou Whitaker. So I'm just
Sweet Lou
throwing
should
that
be in there
there
too.
Yeah, no, okay. Then I'd be more willing to accept Kent.
Wonder how Kent got in then.
He played in a
slugger for a second baseman.
Yeah.
That's the big deal.
Super
Weren't many
big deal.
slugging second basemen.
As a kid growing up, I just remembered he had that mustache the entire
He
time.
just was angry all the time.
Didn't seem like a happy guy.
He did. And so it was nice to hear him. I don't know if you listened to his speech.
I heard him, and he seemed like
He seemed like he
relaxed
just
a little bit.
enjoyed baseball. He's very, I've played with guys who are like super
Wound tight.
serious
Yeah.
all the time.
Tommy Pham.
And he seemed like that type of person. Like he just was like all business all the time. Like he talked about it. He said the reason why he loved Dusty so much was because he embodied the exact opposite of it. He said, I was pretty much a pessimist. Like I was always kind of like half glass, half empty, type guy. And Dusty kind of was my yang. Like he was the opposite of that. And he always brought the best out of him. He was talking about it a little bit.
Interesting. I will go look at that.
Number 2.
I do think two guys for sure that'd be in the Hall of Fame, though, without question. I said Whitaker, but the two that drive me crazy the most are Don Mattingly and Dale Murphy.
Don for sure.
With Garv not far behind. Go ahead.
All right. It just seems like things are going worse for Bill Belichick and the UNC Tar Heels.
This guy keeps going back to North Carolina.
Poor old Belichick. He can't get it. He can't get 14-0 this year. Skraby will be on his case for something.
General Manager Michael Lombardi. No, it's actually, this is me mad at Michael Lombardi. You're talking about someone who blew you off for an interview. Michael Lombardi, I wish I still had these texts. He blamed me for scheduling him at the wrong time.
No.
And
How dare you?
And I went through everything and looked, and he was just lying because he missed the interview. And so he said that I did it to him, and I gave him the wrong date. I gave him the wrong time.
Accountable, huh?
Yeah, he was an Odyssey insider back in the day. Anyway, he has been placed on administrative leave. He is the North Carolina football GM. He gets paid $1.5 million a year. They have confirmed all this is happening. We don't know more news. Tony, has Bill Belichick's tenure as head coach damage his legacy?
No. Next question.
Next question. Chris?
Belichick?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, and I'm being serious. I mean, you're going to go 3, 4, 5 years. There's nobody's going to go, I mean, Michael Jordan didn't exactly star with the Wizards. It hasn't really damaged
No one talks
too much.
about it at all.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, it will be
Bill
talked
went to
about.
North Carolina for those couple of years?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to care.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a biggie for him.
All right. That's it. I was going to ask about your Dolphins light, but we
Everybody
might
should
be
get
able to
one
do
of
that.
these. It's an LED car door light. They have them at sporticulture.com. I'm not paid by the company,
Okay, time
but
to
you can
go.
get one for your team. Hey, it's Ben and Wood.
Mentioned that SDFC got back in the winning lane the other day, 1-0 victory. I watched it from my Xbox in my hotel room in was it Miami?
The whole
or
game?
Atlanta. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one on Saturday night. There was one on
Saturday.
Wednesday
Yeah, because
night.
we played a stupid 4:00 game.
Yeah, 4:00 game in Miami.
Say, by the way, why you give us? You mess up lunch. You mess up. You can't even. You just like middle of nowhere.
That is no man's land.
Buses at 11 o'clock. Like you can barely get breakfast, and then you basically give up the rest of the day, and you come home at like 8, and it's like, damn, well, that's kind of late. We got to turn around for one stupid 1:40 game tomorrow.
1:40.
I love this. This is what goes on in the head of a broadcaster.
It really, it's like, how am I going to
106 games?
What do I want to do? Do I want to go get some food? Do I want to walk someplace? It's
I
8:30.
struggled. I will say this.
It's hot. It's hot. Yeah.
I will say I struggled when the Aztec football team would play on the East Coast and have a noon start on the East Coast, which was 9 a.m. here.
Yeah.
They usually did that when they went to Ohio State, right?
Somewhere like that. Yeah,
Yep.
I struggled with those, but yeah, you seem to,
I just do the 5 o'clock, anywhere between the 3 and 5 o'clock start, just kind of leave you.
It's kind
It's
of in
no man's land.
Yeah, no man's land.
Yeah.
I got a really one bit of good news to kick off the happy hour, which I think is fair because we've been all over everything today. This story is out of Plano, Texas, and it has to do with athletics prospect Ryan Lasko.
Oh, I saw this.
It's a young man who broke his back in a collision with a minor league teammate 4 weeks ago. And I remember reading about this, and I think we talked about it on the
this
radio.
was a terrible collision.
And he had surgery to a fractured C6, C7 vertebra. They didn't think he was ever going to walk again, the whole thing. He was motionless on the field, the whole, all of it. But he wrote on his Instagram that I'm currently feeling much better. I have sensation from my feet up to my knees.
Which he didn't have for a while.
Right, yes. Along with a lot of involuntary leg movements. I also have been getting sensation in the side of my thighs, hamstring, 75% usage of left hand, 50% in his right. All of that doesn't sound like much, but it's a whole lot better than none of none, which is what he had. So good luck. Keep on getting better, Ryan Lasko.
Yeah, no doubt. How about, did you see Joshua Kuroda Grauer? Did you see this for the Athletics? Fouled that ball off and split his, what?
He split his.
What is his what?
The area?
The area. Had to have emergency surgery. You didn't see this against the Phillies? He went down, and I think all of us would have went down like we got shot.
I was just seeing this article.
Yeah, it's he was.
Do I want to watch the video?
Oh, that's what happened?
Yes.
I saw this happen. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yes.
Oh my goodness,
He had
Chris!
to have emergency surgery.
I don't want to see it.
It's not anything bad, but I can't show the video online. But he fouls it right off.
Ruptured testicle.
That ruptured that?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
that ruptured.
I have a silly question. Was he wearing a cup?
I would say probably not. If
probably not. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
I mean, you see guys go to the ground, but he was like fully like laid out, face down.
Oh, now I know why.
Yeah.
He went down like a soccer player, is what you're saying.
But
Chris.
But that actually,
But he
actually
was
has
hurt.
impact.
Yeah, he was hurt. Yeah.
He hit his first major league home run in the second inning of that same
so
game.
he was feeling good.
And he fouled a ball off.
First of all, do you know how he had to have barreled this ball up so well? Because it had to have some steam on it still to split you.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a word we ever want used in relation to that.
Ruptured testicle. You know what I'm saying?
This writer made me laugh. It said he fouled off a ball off his ... balls in the fifth. Let's talk about baseballs.
That's how he wrote it.
Yeah, let's talk about baseballs. And I guess this guy, what's his name? Joshua Kuroda Grauer, he is just joking about it, thinking this is the most hilarious thing ever. So good for him.
Good for him. He's in good spirits.
Chris is hurting over there.
I can't even walk right now.
I got to go back to the one where he goes, it happens down there. All right, Chris had a topic.
All right, go ahead, Chris.
I did? No,
Yes.
I said I had good news, and I read it.
Oh, no,
that
you
was
had a
it.
topic about Fernando.
Oh, yes. Okay. I'll throw this out there because I've taken so much abuse online from all you Twitter people out there on this, and that's fine. I'm going to throw it out one last time, and then I guess we'll probably move on. And the reason I brought it up again is because the Marlins announcers were the latest ones to mention it. It all started a couple of weeks ago when Fernando grounded out. I can't remember. I think it was Kansas City series.
Yep.
Shortstop, backhand the ball. Bobby Witt throws. Fernando is barely down the line. Don Orsillo actually did announce and say, play made by Witt. He throws, and Fernando's not running. He didn't say anything else.
Yeah, he moved on.
But he did point it out, and I noticed it as well. And so it was the same game that Fernando hit a home run, stole a base. I think they won the game. Or no, so they lost 6-1, but his homer was the only run. And so I was frustrated, as I often am on this kind of stuff, and I wrote something, and I took a lot of people on Twitter like, Chris, shut up. You don't know anything about baseball. He doesn't have to run.
You don't know anything.
Yeah, right. He doesn't have to run. I'm like, really? He doesn't? Okay. That's fine. And so on we went. Now, the Marlins series, I guess a couple of plays. I didn't really notice these as much, but I guess a couple plays they didn't feel he ran, so their announcer said something. So that's where we bring this up, and that's where we are. Again, I guess Fernando, it certainly doesn't bother him. I would not want anybody even ever suggesting that I wasn't hustling 100%. So that's probably why I think I would. I do get the fact that sprinting every single time is maybe too old school. I don't know. I struggle to find the happy medium here. So I will bring you in again, Tony, for this. I don't know that does it get to a point that if everybody else is saying something, that maybe Fernando ought to, throw a little extra step or two in, or does it not matter?
I think you can't pick and choose when you decide you want to be mad at these deals, right? Like, is Toddy the only one doesn't run down the line?
Nope.
No. So then, you've accepted it before, so accept it in good and bad. You can't. I think I heard Shannon Sharp say this, and it came from OG Shanahan. I would never accept something in a win or in a loss that I wouldn't accept in a win, right? I think that's how he said it.
Sounds very smart.
And if you're willing to accept the lack of running the bases from other guys, particularly your leader, and listen, Manny's made no bones about this. I mean, I think he talked about it openly before coming to San Diego when he was a little bit younger. I'm sure he might have some different thoughts on it now, but that's who and how he's going to do it. And no one had a problem with it. The only time you have a problem with it is when the Padres aren't playing well or when they're not playing well. Any other time, you don't even hear it mentioned. So, that's how I look at it.
Well, I'm dumbly going to be
if it's the other broadcasters bringing it up, again, they're on the other side. They're going to point out the negative stuff that they can, as we all do.
Well, our own broadcaster also pointed out, so I'm going to point that out. I'm going to just I'm going to take this to the, till I die on the vine is probably what's going to end up happening here. But again, when Soto didn't run here and Song missed the ball and had to go out in right field and threw him out, I thought that was really as embarrassing as I've seen in a long time. And I would just not want that to happen to Fernando or even to Manny. And I know that it sure looks like he's going to be out, and why hustle? And I know a lot of people in my DMs said that. Chris, he's going to be out anyway, and it's 6-1. I'd rather have him healthy later on and running when it matters. I still point out the fact that, the ball could short hop the first baseman and he could not glove it cleanly. And, if you're not running down the base, he could go get the ball and step back on the base. And that to me is just not acceptable.
And guess what?
So
then at that point, the embarrassment is either going to make them stop doing it or it's not. And so really until it happens to Toddy and, in that situation actually pops up, we're not going to really know.
But do the fans have a right, some of them, who agree with me? There are some who agree with me. It's a lesser amount.
As long as you're the fan that is consistently complaining about it. Like, it's going to probably happen in these next 6 games. Keep the same energy, like all the time. When they win, when he goes 4 for 4 when he goes 2 for 4 with 2 homers, just keep that same energy. Bring it up all the time. Man, it just bothers the hell out of me that he doesn't run. But I love the 2 hits and the 2 homers he had.
Skraby, we talked about this last week. Skraby was more leaning to the Tony side. Yes, still.
Yeah. I don't think Fernando would ever. I hesitate to bring it up this way because I know that Chris has a retort to this, which is a correct retort. But I don't think he would ever not hustle if it really mattered. Like if he had a chance at the base. These are all.
He definitely rustles when he has a chance for base. He's beat out ground balls a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know that.
So I don't necessarily. It doesn't really bother me that much.
Anybody go drinking this weekend with Tony Romo?
Oh man!
Or driving with Tony Romo?
Well, no, he was the driver.
I did neither actually with Tony this week.
Did you see him?
No.
Oh,
I said I did neither.
Oh, I thought you
did
said
neither
you did.
drive
I was
or
like,
drink
where
with
did
him.
you-
No.
Man, you were drinking and driving with Tony Romo?
No.
Tony's in a little
I
in the
try to make
soup.
a habit of not getting in cars where someone's been drinking.
No, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Tony's in the soup, apparently, according to TMZ, is in risk of losing his license.
I mean, that's everybody who gets a DUI.
Evidently not. Miles Garrett hasn't lost his
He
yet.
didn't get a DUI.
Oh, I see.
He's just speeding.
So 9 times
He's
120
speeding
miles an
sober.
hour isn't.
Ohio has crazy speeding laws. If he gets caught in California for speeding as much as he does, he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
We have much different and much more serious speeding laws here. In Ohio, apparently, you're allowed to just drive however you want.
On the Ohio Autobahn?
On the turnpike. On the turnpike. I mean, do we have more information on the Tony Romo thing?
Other than
I
he
just
got
said
a
TMZ
DUI?
is reporting that he's risking losing his license. I could go through this story, but
that's very.
That means
facing
they
an
don't
uphill
have
battle.
anything yet.
Yeah, that
'cause
means
that's
they
like
don't
a
have
basic
anything.
fact at this point.
Yeah, I mean, most people get their license suspended.
Romo performed poorly during the field sobriety exercises.
He thought his athleticism was going to help him
Take
get
over.
through that.
Did he
Get
say,
through that.
I don't know, Jim?
You know, I was looking for that joke earlier. I couldn't remember what he was saying though.
Did you run the red light or not, Mr. Romo?
I don't know. Please, officer.
Let's go to break. More Gwynn and Chris and Happy
Shouldn't
Hour
be laughing about that subject. I just want to be clear.
on the other side.
There's no
All right, so here's what happened. I was at the corner, and I'm going to call out the streets because who cares? It was Claremont Mesa Drive and Ruffin Road, which is pretty close to our radio station here.
Yep.
I had to run over and pick up a little cash from the bank. That was simple, trip before I came into work. And I'm on Ruffin Road, coming up to Claremont Mesa Boulevard.
Ruffin Road can be a little rough sometimes.
Well, they could pave that. It
a
wouldn't
little
hurt.
rough sometimes.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. They can't call it paved road. I know that.
Wait, your issue isn't the potholes in the road?
No, that was I'm used to that. So we come up on Claremont Mesa, and we're at the stoplight. I'm in the left-hand turn lane to turn left on Claremont Mesa. I'm the third car back. And there's 2 left turn lanes. There's 3 cars in line here. And then the going straight is also red. And that is backed up each of the lanes so that I've got cars on my right. I've got cars on my left. I got 2 in front of me. I got people behind me. No big deal. Light cycles through. And our turn doesn't come.
Oh, no.
So the cross traffic gets to go again. And then the people coming across in our direction, they get to go again. And then for a second time, they skip our turn. Well, that's what I thought. So now...
Actually, you're not going anywhere. You're stuck.
Right, you're stuck.
You're not going anywhere.
And my first thought, of course, as a good scout or, athlete, is to look around. Is there any way out? Can I back up? Can I, I'll do anything. But there is nowhere for me to go.
No.
It happens a third time.
Whoa.
And I'm pretty clear at this point, this light's broken. And I'm starting to think, how are we going to get out of this? Am I going to have to call, the police to come and fix it? No one's going to know it's broken.
911 emergency response.
Yeah.
Where's your emergency? Ruffin Road in Claremont. The light is stuck.
The light is stuck. And so this is 5 minutes probably, but you can imagine 5 minutes.
No,
that's a long
That's a
time,
long
right?
time.
Well, when it comes to the 4th time, I finally start just leaning on my horn.
Oh.
I'm trying to get...
What are the people in front of you going to do?
Well, because there was a moment, right, after the traffic comes this way, it paused.
You want them to run the light.
You could at least a couple people could run the light. We could get this going here.
You want them to run the light.
I did.
Break the law.
Well, they had to. Otherwise, we'd still be there.
So
Anyway, so this is going on. So I'm starting leaning on my horn. The lady next to me looks at me like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Good for her. Good for her.
And good for her. Yeah. I'm like, "Ma'am,
kidding.
are you just clueless? Were you going to sit here the rest of your life?"
She has faith that the light's going to turn eventually.
Evidently so. If it had gone again, the guy next to me on this side rolled down his passenger window. That starts to go down. I think he's going to be mad. And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure the light's broken. Like, how do you not know this? We've all been sitting here for 6-7 minutes now." The two cars at the very front of the left turn lane are not budging. So they apparently are content to sit there for as long as it need be.
They also have faith that the light is going to turn.
But I have no faith.
What gives them that faith?
Yeah, but what gave him the faith? I mean, it had cycled through 4 times now. The 5th time, I was going to just have to get out of my car and walk up to that and go, "Will you please do something?" Or get, and if you don't, and I would have something. You know what I would have said? "If you don't want to run the light, just get out of my way so I can run the light. I'm not sitting here the rest of the day." And finally, on the 5th time, the first 2 people ran the light, and the next person was able to get half. You know what I mean? And after a couple more cycles through, I got out of there. But I don't know.
Did the light ever start working?
I don't know. If you're at Claremont Mason Ruffin Road, you might still be there. I don't know. This was 45 minutes ago or so.
Wow.
So my question to you is, how differently would you have handled this than I did? And I'll start with you, Tony. Would there have been any difference, or do you know?
I don't know if I would have laid on my horn.
You would have just never laid on it.
I think I might have maybe rolled down the window, see if I could talk to somebody, see what else.
See if anybody else was in on it?
I don't think I would have laid on my horn because, listen, what you're asking is for them to, which may not be easy for everybody, and that is the timing between when because they're waiting for their light to turn.
Yes,
right?
they were waiting for
the light's not going to turn. But that also then requires them to guess the exact kind of when the timing of when they can go. And
yeah, well, you know what? Figure it out.
I think a lot of people wouldn't be comfortable with
running the light, even under these circumstances. Well, I think
not when there's other cars that could actually hit them.
Okay, I think you are right. And the reason I think you're right is because of the 40 to 50 cars that were now piled up in my area behind me and around me. I was the only one honking.
Right, and
then nobody else thought to do this. All right, so here's what happened. I was at the corner, and I'm going to call out the streets because who cares? It was Claremont Mesa Drive and Ruffin Road, which is pretty close to our radio station here.
Yep.
I had to run over and pick up a little cash from the bank. That was a simple, trip before I came into work. And I'm on Ruffin Road, coming up to Claremont Mesa Boulevard.
Ruffin Road can be a little rough sometimes.
Well, they could pave that. It wouldn't hurt. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt if they can't call it paved road. I know that.
Wait, your issue isn't the potholes in the road?
No, that was I'm used to that. So we come up on Claremont Mesa, and we're at the stoplight. I'm in the left-hand turn lane to turn left on Claremont Mesa. I'm the 3rd car back. And there's 2 left turn lanes. There's 3 cars in line here. And then the going baseball here on 97.3 The Fan. Our coverage presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi. One price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Skraby, all here in the Odyssey Palace Studios. Full 4-hour show. Skraby, you staying late today?
Yes, sir.
Skraby Chronicles are coming up at 6.
Chronicles!
By the way, the Chronicles have a great open today because I saw Skraby working on the open, and it's going to be funny. Why are you looking like you don't know what you're doing in your own open?
Oh, it took me a second. Yes, it took me a second.
He was lost.
I was super lost. It took me a second.
He's got a funny one.
Okay,
so it'll be good. Padres, if you're just back in town or something, did sweep the Marlins over the weekend. And so all of a sudden, the Padres went from season worst, 3 games under 500, right back to 500. They're only 2 games back in the wild card here, although they still trail a bunch of teams. So a lot of winning needs to ensue. It'll hopefully resume tomorrow. Michael King against Colorado. I must say, Michael Lorenzen, nothing's a gimme, but This guy has not been very good this year. 2-10 or whatever he is, and let me get his exact record for you. I'm sorry, 3-9. Sorry, 6.53 the ERA. So he's somebody that can be certainly had. Wednesday afternoon game. It says Griffin Canning. Interesting. He was actually warming in relief last night, and I think it seems like everything's kind of up for grabs right now with the way the Padres are doing their pitching. Marquez is scheduled for Thursday here against Robbie Ray and the Gigantes. One good news about the Gigantes series, Tony, just noticed this. No Logan Webb for that 4-game set.
Great.
And yeah, doesn't hurt anybody's
We
feelings.
didn't miss anybody early, so I'm not going to
Yes, right.
give
No
anything.
complaints. Yeah,
no.
no argument. Yeah, Logan's going to miss this unless, the Giants change something around. All right. Yeah, I shouldn't have said all that because now I forgot what I was going to talk about.
Well, I got something. We could talk about this for a second. Kirk Kenny, our resident reporter here on the show, he had some thoughts on the Kyle Shanahan situation. Where
that was an involved situation.
Yes. So
Kirk
basically,
would be a good guy to speak on this, though.
Basically, ESPN and other reporters held a story about Kyle Shanahan getting into this accident for over a week, and so we were talking about whether or not that's cool. And Kirk says there is a give and take in all of these situations when you cover a beat. You weigh getting one story and is worth possibly losing out on others because you lose access or trust with the people you deal with on a daily basis.
That's perfectly put by Kirk Kenny.
He also said medical privacy issues would probably muddle the waters too.
But he's absolutely right. If you are the reporter,
no doubt,
and somebody says, "Hey, can you do me a solid?" and maybe delay reporting this or just kind of look the other way a little bit. It's not necessarily that you're cheating or doing something. It's just that they may have a bigger story that you need later, so you have to weigh that. The question I would ask Kirk, and Kirk probably will now answer it that I'm asking it over the air, but I don't know that it's always been that way. I think that for a long time, if you, let's say, Tony, answer me this if you can remember with your dad, but I don't know that reporters, had to make a deal with the team back in the 80s and 90s. I think it was just understood that the reporter would cover what the team was up to, good or bad, and that was just the way it was. And now it does seem like there is this give and take where the team can say, hey, we can take away access. We can give you more access. I don't know if we're going in the right direction.
I don't know. It's a really good question. It's hard for me to really remember. I mean, who might be a good person to ask is Buster, because he was here in San Diego around that time.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting. It feels like that wasn't the case, but it also feels like reporters were kind of given, way more leeway. Like, I don't remember a PR guy standing near a interview.
Yes,
in the 90s.
They're right there now a lot of times.
Or being within range a lot of times.
Not wrong.
They kind of just, when it was the time for the press to be in, doors open. And now if there was a problem with a specific reporter, maybe they might hang around.
I don't know how a PR guy wasn't necessarily there to control what was asked or not asked.
I also feel like there's more.
And listen, I don't know. You might be able to answer. Did managers speak to the media after every game?
Well, yes, but not the way they do now. There was a little quick thing in the office.
Right. I remember Bruce Bochy's door was right by my dad's
so you get
locker.
a couple of
so you
guys
see them all come traveling 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, like,
right, and Bochy'd come in, he'd lean back.
That's exactly what he would
you'd
do.
go, and he'd look around, and one guy'd go this, and one guy'd go that, and then everybody'd get out of there. And then if you really wanted something else, and you knew him well enough, you'd sneak back in later for your own quote later.
Yeah.
But it's not like that now, and especially before the game.
Now,
that's where the biggest difference is. There was never this.
Now listen,
there was never the what do you call it before the game?
The cackle, the scrum.
The scrum. That was never something before.
Now listen, I don't know that as I think about this more. I also, on the flip side of that, there wasn't as many quote unquote journalists trying to get, you had your whatever your paper was, your couple news outlets that you have in that city.
But New York, it was like different though, Tony.
Was
right?
it?
They'd have like 35 guys.
Well,
who
yeah,
covered
no,
the
New York
team.
was different. They got, New York Times, New York Post. They got all that, right?
And they were all looking for their own angle, so they were trying to sneak
And so
around
again,
and get stuff.
everywhere you go is a little bit different, right?
I remember when I first went to the Padre clubhouse, and having known your dad so well, I was hoping that he wasn't nice to the other guys.
Oh, no. Sorry, man.
I know. So I could sneak over there and go, hey, Tony, man, can you hit me? And everybody'd be there, and he'd like, I'll answer
Maybe
anything.
if you caught him in a mood, he might have been mean to
he was
somebody.
so good to everybody.
I have Kirk Kenny responded.
Okay, what Kirk says?
So
Kirk?
He said there's several things to consider. One of the reasons it didn't get reported immediately is because camp hadn't started yet, and beat reporters weren't focused on accounting for whereabouts of everybody.
Right, as they should.
When information started to come in, I believe people were told Shanahan wouldn't do a presser on Thursday, so that's when people started asking questions. It could have been explained that he was having a medical procedure, which could have been true.
Which would have
also
led to
protects
more
his
questions, too,
privacy.
though.
He doesn't have a problem with that. Also, if he's one of the main beat writers and they asked me to hold back on information, that begins dialogue on what can be released and when. And then the deal I usually work, I don't know if I'm supposed to read this part, but
Well, maybe you shouldn't then if you don't know.
Yeah, let's just not.
If you don't know.
Kirk's
don't
sitting
read
in
it.
his car right now. No!
Don't
read it, you idiot.
No, it's not bad. Basically, what he's saying is that he does schedule tweets for like a minute after when he knows that the news is going to go up. So that's why everybody started reporting a minute after, because he already had the story written, and so that's why
which
it went
is
like that.
more underscores the point that Adam
Probably had
Schefter's
it early.
tweet came out a minute after the 49ers released the information.
Yeah. And it's called, I think it's called an embargo. When I went up
yes,
to
yes,
Dodger
yes,
Stadium
yes,
on
yes.
July 4th, they actually gathered all of us outside before we went in the clubhouse because Mason Miller was named an All-Star, but no one had known yet, and so they looked at me basically and said, "Hey, this is embargoed. You guys cannot be tweeting anything out until after it's announced."
Let me tell you, you want to get on the bad side? Release something that MLB hasn't released yet. Oh,
I'm not
they come find you.
They will not be happy with it. But that shouldn't be the way it is, I don't think.
But
in
they
my
did.
old
I
school way of thinking.
I think in that case, like an all-star,
Yeah.
it should be. It shouldn't be broken. Like,
Do you like, okay, I don't disagree with you, but like the NBA, they tell you the MVP 3 days before they announce it
I
because
hate
some
that.
guy reports it.
I hate that
Right.
personally.
Yeah.
I want to be surprised. Like, oh, such and such one.
Yeah. Oh, no, I have to tell you.
Sorry, I knew 3 days ago.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to
I
ruin
hate
it
that.
for everybody.
Well, thanks, Kirk, for
Thank you, Kirk.
being a guest through text.
For real. It's not me.
I also think, just one last thing, I think the reporters took care of things, their relationships with the people they covered more on their own. Whereas
Yes.
now the
You got to
PR
go through
people
some. There's
get
a middleman.
involved.
There's a middleman for sure.
And I say that because
But that's also because I hate to say it. I think the players aren't. They don't get into the dance that the players in the 90s and 2000s did in terms of understanding. I'm gonna see Chris every day. He's gonna come ask me questions whether I like it or not every day. So let me see if I can, if there's some space in there for us to have at least a cordial relationship as we move forward. It doesn't need to be sour for both of us. I got to work here. He got to work here. They don't have to do that no more. Right?
Seems different now.
It's way different.
It is way
and
different.
listen, in some ways, I can't blame them. I mean, social media has these dudes. You got to move. You just
Social media is a whole
You
nother
got to
animal
move
that
differently
wasn't there
now.
before.
There's a camera phone everywhere you go. You just have to move differently.
I wonder
am
what
so
would have
glad
happened if there was.
I came up
I wonder if somebody
earlier.
had a FaceTime going when Larry Boa snapped at me one time after a Padre game and said, "That's a really dumb question. You should never ask that."
Was he right?
No, he apologized later.
Yeah, he did.
And that was fine. And it was over. Like, I never said a word to anyone there. No one said a word
But
to
now
me.
it's like if you
But
did his
now
gotcha-
if he snapped at me, there'd be 50 people around. Now it'd be a whole thing. He'd have to go talk to everybody.
100%.
I also think that's
And
part
so
of.
you know what you do now is I'm extra careful on how I respond.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
exactly.
now you're not even going to get my real response.
Because-
you're going to get this calculated kind of answer.
Yeah, there's also a lot of, even though they're not there on a daily basis, there are reporters that are social media reporters that go
sure.
there and they just want to cause whatever kind of engagement they can. Doesn't matter what they're reporting on.
So it's a different ball game. I I tend to think that the reporters in your time, and that's not to say that these reporters today don't, but there was a true passion behind writing and journalism and how that's supposed to go.
Well, we didn't know what a click was.
It wasn't a click.
There was no such thing as a
no
click.
such thing, yeah. By the way, when I said that Larry...
And by the way, that's most of the journalists that I work with today all operate in that same fashion. I don't know that I've run across some of these social media cats that you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know they're out there. We see it.
They
every
are
time.
out there, but they're not like teams have
and
been.
But this is why teams now have a PR team because they got to vet.
That's what I was just about to say.
Who these cats are coming in here.
If you go in, if you've built a following and you do things right, they're going to let the Padres podcast guy.
100%.
But if you're going to go in there and you're going to be like, hey, asking a question to Fernando, hey, what do you think about not? Maybe that's a bad example.
Just trying to stir stuff up.
Trying to get like a gotcha answer or something like that.
Yeah.
That's when they don't want those people there.
I think that's what makes it a much more complicated thing than it used to be, though.
Definitely complicated.
I think Skraby got far too excited when I said that Larry Bowa once got mad at me for a question, and he said, Skraby,
was he right?
Should he been right? Yeah.
What was the question?
It's a little, it's not important, I'll tell you. Well, I mean, okay.
It's fine. We don't need to.
I mean, I asked him about a strategy move, and I think he misunderstood, honestly, the way I was asking the question. That's all it truly was.
I mean, usually when someone answers that's a stupid question is because they didn't understand the question. So
that's usually how it works.
And I'm not saying you asked a bad question. I'm just saying he didn't understand.
We didn't see eye to eye on the way that worked, but he was fine, and I was fine, and we'll take a break with more Gwynn and Chris.
And everybody was fine.
On the Fan.
Coming up Tuesday. Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers' great shortstop, Jack Morris, in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do damage to that team. Only the second #1 overall pick in the Major League Draft, Chipper Jones, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The other is Ken Griffey Jr. Vladimir Guerrero, never met a pitch he couldn't swing at, and powerhouse hitter for the Expos, and then, of course, the Angels at the end of his career. Jim Thome, over 600 home runs, mostly with the Cleveland Indians. And then, oh, yeah, the guy down here on the end who used to get all these guys out all the time, Trevor Hoffman, the greatest Padre reliever of them all. Two of the greatest outfielders in the history of baseball. Of course, you've got Babe Ruth right here. Ted Williams right over there. I was wondering who the third outfielder would be. And then, of course, it hit me. Tony would be upset if I didn't say that the third outfielder, who will someday probably be displayed right here between these two guys, is obviously Mike Trout. and this is the San Diego Padres locker room here in Cooperstown. Obviously, a couple of jerseys there and hats, gloves, all-star stuff. I think the most interesting thing in this entire display, though, especially this weekend, is a picture in the top corner of Angus Young. He's the guitarist for AC/DC, wearing a Trevor Hoffman uniform, obviously playing Hell's Bells. I know that Trevor went to many AC/DC concerts and was honored by sitting in the front row to watch AC/DC play Hell's Bells in his honor. But there's a picture of Angus Young playing Hell's Bells for Trevor Hoffman, wearing the 51 jersey right there. Crisello, yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers' great shortstop, Jack Morris, in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of an
happy hour. Let me, why do I sound like this? Am I up loud? Let's send this over to Mr. Ello. He's got a trivia question for you.
Sorry, was I drowning you out?
I was like, I can't even hear myself.
Have you ever heard that song before?
All the Small Things?
Tony's never heard
Tony
that song. Is a joke.
He's never heard that
They play it every night, right?
Definitely heard it.
Chance to win a pair to, speaking of, well, not those guys, Blink 182, but how about Guns N' Roses? Chance to win a pair of tickets to GNR. They're coming to Snapdragon Stadium on September the 2nd. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. We're going to have our, Drew Goodman interview?
Correct.
Word.
Before that, but when we go to that, I'll ask the trivia question. You can call in. But I do want to ask, we have 2 minutes to ask Tony a question?
1 minute, but yes.
One. Okay, Tony, your answer in 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
The critics of LeBron James who say he's ring chasing more than ever by going to the Philadelphia. First of all, I think it's really unfair to even question this guy's legacy. But there are people trying to suggest that this could hurt him even more. What do you say to those people? Are they just total haters, or do they have any?
Yes. They're total haters.
Yeah.
LeBron, you can make the argument that where LeBron goes, rings chase him. Now, he may not he may not be successful every time, but the dude has been to like 1 billion finals. He's in the playoffs pretty much all but like 2 years of his career. I think they happen to be with the Lakers, maybe one. Yeah, I think it's a silly argument. I won't be rooting for him like I have the last, however many years, but like he's undeniably.
Now, the other side of it real quick, and then we'll get to there are people also say, though, if he wins with Philadelphia, it's the opposite. He won with Miami, championship with Cleveland, championship with the Lakers.
Who can say they've done that?
Right? Nobody. That's
what I'm saying.
That's their point, is if he wins with a fourth franchise at 42 years old,
right?
Maybe this makes him even better.
I'm just saying, like, at this point, him chasing rings seems a bit silly. Like, I think, if anything, where he goes, typically rings have at least come one time to that organization.
It is funny because the argument against and for LeBron, it's like they're talking about two completely different people.
Player, yeah, for sure.
All right. Here's the question. Guns N' Roses' famous song was called...
Take me down to the paradise city where grass
That's
was
one of
green
them,
and the
but I was
girls are
thinking
pretty.
of Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
What NFL stadium was called The Jungle? 833-288-0973. It's kind of an easy question. I think you can figure it out. 833-288-0973. First person will go see Guns N' Roses. In the meantime, earlier today, Tony and I interrupted Drew Goodman sunning himself.
I don't like how you say so.
All right, Drew Goodman, great play-by-play voice. Colorado Rockies joining us here on the SDCCU Fan Hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. And speaking of that, Drew Goodman, thank you so much for being with us, sir. But you told us earlier this season, there's no question the Rockies were going to be much better. To that end, a win tomorrow would equal last year's win total for the Rockies. I don't know that any team in baseball history has ever been able to say that in July.
Well, I guess that probably speaks to how tough a season it was in 2025.
Yeah, right.
Right. But you know what? From afar, people can look at the record and say it's still one of the worst records in baseball. The Rockies don't want to compare themselves to what transpired last year. It's a new team. It's a new front office. It's a new direction. And we rarely, for whatever that's worth, on the air mention last year. You guys have seen the Rockies now on a couple of occasions. They're vastly improved. They're competitive. I think offensively they're way ahead of where they are on the mound. In fact, offensively, if this was an October team, like if the Rockies were good enough to play in October, you'd look at that offense, and though you wouldn't say it's the best offense in baseball, you'd say, hey, this is a pretty good offense. They run the bases well, they scrap, they can hit the ball over the wall. The biggest piece has always been the issue, and you guys know this, is the pitching. And hopefully we're going to continue to see some improvement moving forward, whether it's the trade deadline or the off season or young guys coming up. They'll be able to match what we've seen on the offensive end.
Drew, you mentioned this team is so much better offensively, but I think when you start to look at what they have, they got some players offensively. I mean, Hunter Goodman kind of came onto the scene last year. He's continued to play well. You got Aztec for life, Cole Kerrigan there coming up. Not only is he playing well, but has showed a little moxie as he got into rushing a little bit earlier. I mean, speaking of the deadline, are there players available for the Rockies that they may look to kind of move?
Yeah, Tony, you and Chris know this, that any organization, and you're sitting here with A.J. Preller, who nobody makes more significant moves, it seems, the last 6-7 years than A.J. He's not afraid to make moves. You always listen. You'd be foolish not to. Yeah. And I know Hunter Goodman has been the center of a lot of rumors this time of year. He's a two-time All-Star. He's on pace to hit 45, 46 home runs. If he eclipses 45, it would be a National League record for a catcher. Understanding that, the Rockies want to accelerate the process of becoming an October team. And in fact, I'm going to, roughly quote Paul DePodesta from about a week or so ago. And he said, listen, we'll listen to anybody and anything. And if it expedites the process to becoming a 90-win team, we're all in. Yeah. But this notion, and again, you guys know this notion that, you're going to go get a few top prospects that are 3, 4, 5 years away. We all know that most of the time, even ballyhooed prospects don't turn out to be impact major league players. It's just such a difficult sport. So if the Rockies are to move some guys, it's to make them better in the near term, not some, kid in low A that shows promise.
Drew Goodman is with us, a long-lost relative of Hunter Goodman. I just figured that out when we were introducing you. You guys had the same last name. Drew, I want to ask about a couple of guys because we talk about who the Rockies could trade or maybe where they have a little excess. A couple of guys that come to my mind are Brenton Doyle and Jordan Beck. One's hurt, one's in the minors now after being hurt. These were two guys that were really good. Doyle's won a couple of Gold Gloves already. Beck was seemingly on the rise last year. Hasn't worked for him this year. Is that somewhere they might be able to, grab somebody's attention?
Yeah, perhaps. You never want to sell low, right? And unfortunately for Brent, he's barely played this year. Last year was a tough year for him for a variety of reasons. So, now he's a couple years removed away from a really good offensive year where he was a 2020 guy and won his second Gold Glove. So it depends. Is there somebody out there that's watched him in Albuquerque and says, no, this guy still can be impactful and he's still a young guy. Let's go get him. Jordan Beck, same situation. Unfortunately, Jordan hasn't played much this year. And when he did, other than against left-handed pitching, he really struggled.
Yeah.
So are you selling too low or does somebody give you enough where you feel like, especially with a plethora of outfielders, that you can make that move? It'll be interesting. I really do think it's going to be fascinating the next week or so from the Rockies' perspective. You mentioned Cole Carrick, man. I love that kid. And I think I love the adjective I think Tony used is that he plays with great moxie. He plays with his hair on fire, let's be honest. And I think every team needs a little edge, and he brings that. I've analogized it a little bit to when Tulowitzki arrived many years ago. That he's cocky, but he can back it up, and he's like, "Let's F and go." And I love that about him. He's probably got to chill out on how many helmets he's breaking after every time he makes an out. Last time I checked, you're going to make more outs than you're going to reach, but. I love the kid, and you guys know him well because he's an Aztec, and he's playing center field every day.
Yeah, he could check with PCA on how to control his emotions.
I was just getting ready to say that. I was like, PCA was that guy last year. Now he's on his way to an MVP, it seems like, or at least in contention for it. Drew Goodman joins us, voice of the Colorado Rockies. And, Drew, one of the issues that the Rockies typically run into is on the pitching side. I mean, we've seen some of the young developing position players come up. Kyle Karras, we mentioned Cole Carrick as well. Hunter Goodman's in that bucket of guys. On the pitching side, is there anyone coming? Is there a prospect or two that the Rockies are high on that eventually will get to this big leagues, perhaps even at the end of this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, Tony, and it's the ongoing question. Every team needs pitching. We understand that. That's what wins ultimately throughout the year, but especially in October. The answer to that question is Chase Dollander, who I can't remember if you guys saw him early this year.
Yep.
Chase was a true, top of the rotation guy. That's a rare guy. I mean, he sits on 100 with his heater. He's got cojones, and he's not afraid to he punches tickets, right? We don't have many guys who punch tickets, and he went down with UCL brace surgery, which is the better of the two, right?
Yeah, this is the new surgery that everybody's having now.
Right, and again, if you guys are aware, it's probably about a 12-month deal. So the Rockies, I just talked to our head trainer about this a few days ago. They hope that he's pitching in the big leagues, probably mid-July next year. So let's call it the All-Star break, if all goes well. And then you're talking about a guy that has shown early this year that he can be more of a top-of-the-rotation guy. The other guy I'm going to mention you're going to see on Wednesday afternoon. I really like it. It's very early on. He's made 3 big league starts. He's a former number 1. He had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago. Gabriel Hughes, he was the 10th pick in the draft out of Gonzaga. I think he's still getting his, the top-end fastball back. He's going to work 93, 94, but he has a natural cut on his fastball. He has great mound presence. He's not afraid, which is a term I use a lot. I'm sure, Tony, you do as well. He looks the part. He acts the part. And so far, through 3 starts, he's been really good. And so he's another one where you can dream on and say, okay, you know, Dollander, Hughes, and maybe some veteran guys, and you can strengthen a bullpen quicker, where you can have a pitching staff where you feel like, you know, we're good enough to be above 500 and be in that, at the very least, the wild card mix.
Drew Goodman, really kind of you to spend some time with us. We love having you on down here. I want to throw one just kind of general question at you. Being with the Rockies and having been, kind of at the bottom, the tail of things the last few years, and looking at baseball, and I'm looking at the 9 teams that have lower payrolls than the Rockies, and this according to Spot Track, but 7 of the 9 are either 500 or better right now. I'm not bringing this up to compare them to the Rockies. I'm bringing this up to ask you, do you think the system is broke in terms of there being an unfair playing advantage? Because we're going to be hearing about this in the offseason, obviously, with the conversation. I know none of us know what's going to happen, but I'm just curious from your perspective what you see there. And do you think, we can get baseball, or does baseball need to be more, quote, fair?
Well, first of all, I want to go back to your original statement. You said it was kind enough for me to join you. I'm sitting on the beach. It's kind enough for you to put the Del Coronado not too far away, and so I could sit on the beach and,
You're welcome.
Pretend to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for arranging that for me.
Yeah.
It's the question that is, frequently talked about. It's going to be even more frequently talked about, especially as we head toward the off season. We all know that the best hands will not be revealed until, 5 minutes of midnight, which means February of next year, maybe March even. I don't know if I would call it unfair. I would say that, the Dodgers are always looked upon as the villain. I'm going to kind of meander my way through this in that I think it's good when a sport has a villain. I think, when the Yankees being good is always good for baseball. It has more, you look at you guys. You have a nice rivalry with the Dodgers. It means more when you take 2 or 3 from the Dodgers, right, than it does, quite frankly, when you take 2 or 3 from the Rockies. And so I have no issue with that. The Dodgers have done so many things well beyond being able to stroke checks, right? So I look more honestly, what is best for the game moving forward, and what is best for the rank and file? And Tony, I'm sure you've pontificated on this subject quite a bit in the past. You're going to do so quite a bit moving forward. And I say this with great respect, because you and I know each other well.
Yeah.
I have the absolute utmost respect for anybody that gets to the big leagues. My dad told me when I was a little boy, the worst big leaguer is one of the greatest players on earth. And so I have mad respect for everybody who gets here. And 95% of the people that get to the big leagues last, 3.1 years? Yep. They're not worried about making $30, $40, $50 million a year, or even arbitration, quite frankly. So what's best for the rank and file moving forward, I think, is the most important question. And I understand the Players Association. They're going to say, look, I mean, we have the Clevelands and the Milwaukees. We just left Milwaukee. Your former club. Milwaukee wins every year, right?
Yeah.
And there's and Tampa. I mean, Tampa's in with the big boys in the AL East, man. The Yankees and Toronto and Boston, teams that can really, really spend. And what are they doing that allows them to, win divisions and play in the postseason almost on an annual basis? So it's a complex question. I just hope overall that they get it done without missing any games, not only selfishly, but we're in a time frame where, people will move on to something else.
No guarantees.
The game is in a really good place. No,
not at all.
No guarantees.
Drew, as always, man, appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us, man.
Well, sorry to interrupt your sunning at the Hotel Del. We appreciate it.
No, I got to get this pasty white body ready for tomorrow night, big open where I'm on camera for 42 seconds. So,
Don't forget a little sunscreen. We will recommend that, sir. Thank you so much.
No, I'm all about the 50 now at this stage of the game.
Yeah, right. There you go. All right, Drew.
Take
Thank
care,
you so
Drew.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time.
Was that 50 SFP?
Yeah, right.
SPF.
SPF?
Sun protection factor.
Sun factor protection.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Gonna end it our night. Skraby Chronicles up next. Padres Rockies tomorrow. Begin a 2-game set. Giants fall for a 4-game set. Big week. Go Padres. You guys have a good night.